Yo! Why, hello there and welcome in. About time to get some statues today. I slayed some demons. Ooh. Going on, Darren, Eagles fan, EJ, Bad Habit, Johnny, Yukon, Yo-Yo, welcome in. First few legends in, appreciate y'all. That's gotta be notification gang right there, right? Gotta be. Going on, Nate. All right. I was thinking about switching to Hammerden just to partially switch it up, and I wasn't sure. Sometimes comparing gear, like I've done the comparison of bow against hammers with super budget gear and then the best endgame gear, but I've never done it with like good gear but no skillers, you know what I mean? So, okay, right off the bat. So, Demon Head Elite Base, new set item right here. I think I do have one, but it's still cool to get, Demon Head for the set of the new Warlock set. It's not too bad of a set either, right? Right, not too bad of a set. Still got to stick with the sound effects. We'll compare it to the one we got or whatever. That's cool, though. Golden Magfine said you're late. Yeah, that's all right. I'll forgive you. So I'm going to kind of seal pop, but if I see enough density that I feel like hitting, we're going to go and hit about, what do we call it? 50 to 70% of the monsters, we'll say. These are probably a bit slow, but they are champs, too, so we'll take them out. Those I'll skip. Those two guys I'll skip. Maybe this one's good enough. I don't know. Borderline. But then they get too spread out, and then the kill speed will slow up a little bit. Borderline once again. They'll kind of take each other. When they're in a straight line like that, sometimes they can... that didn't really work out. Never mind. Forget everything I just said. In some ways, that knockback can save you and your merc, but sometimes it's kind of annoying, to be honest. Going on, Doggy. Welcome in. Love them sound effects, says Vlad. It's gonna take me a while to get used to the timing and stuff, you know what I mean? It's not second nature for me to go at it, and I do want to maybe update a couple of them too. Some of them seemed like good ideas to have on there, and then now that I'm using them, I'm like, yeah, maybe not. Like, let's see. The crowd laughing one. I don't know. Maybe there's an instance or two for that, but... I feel like there could be better uses. Oh. I was thinking about adding on that South Park, you know, the one where they're like, nice, nice, nice. You know, maybe just one nice, or maybe the whole list, you know, I'm not sure. Ethereal Demon Head. So if we're making something for the Merc, we could cube that. Let me actually keep that, because I don't have a ton of Runeward bases that are like perfectly great or whatever. So I can't think off the top of my head. I mean, Bulwark, there's like budget options, but there's got to be. Plus, you never know. There's like a 65. What's the math? There's probably a 65-ish% chance that it'd get 3 sockets, but it could get 2 also for something maybe. Wait, what? But yeah, I mean, 200 defense on a helmet too. Pretty sick. Unemployment's going charts. Best of luck on eventually getting employed, but welcome in the meantime. Rafonzo, what's up? Garden Lizard, yo. Diablo large time. 1 to 2 fire damage. Need more sound effects, like we need more cowbell. The only thing is I only have 15 buttons, and I'm nervous to have more than one page of sound effects, because then I have to like cycle through the different pages. So I have 15 buttons, and then I have a button to go to the next page. You know what I mean? So it's like, or I can, you know, have. It's hard to explain exactly how it works, but not that hard, but it's hard. But yeah, multiple pages of sound effects is toughie. Yeah, not a lot of density, and you know, maybe, I don't know. It's already hard enough for me to see them. The thing is, too, is I'm going to get used to where they're at, and then if I move them ever, I'm never going to be able to find them again. Does Holy Bolt normally work on Diablo? Yeah. So Holy Bolt in D2R, yeah. They changed all the Holy Bolts to deal damage to undead and demons in D2R. Quite a bit back, in fact. So... we'll check here. I don't know how good my shields are. Forget. Billy, am I a popcorn guy? I mean, yes, but I don't eat it often anymore. I used to eat it all. That was like my go-to snack back in the day, but I don't really. I don't know exactly what to word it as. I just don't eat it often anymore. Pally build it to solid damage. No. We'll check it just in case. You say you're a hammered in already? Oh, so you have a different pally that's a hammered in, and now you're making another pally to be at something else? I mean, Fists of the Heavens is one of my go-tos. I don't prefer doing it on playthroughs because, you know, if you ever, I mean, there's tons of stuff that is like the ancients are the most notorious one that are not demons or undead that you kind of like need to take out. Really, that's kind of the only one, sort of. But you do get some lightning damage out of the foe, so I guess if there's one you can't,
what's up, Phil?
Yeah, you have to take out that. But Fists of the Heavens is the next one. There's like a Zealer, I guess, and stuff. So Raced, yo, thank you so much, Raced, for the 22 months of Twitch Prime sub, taking that money from Jeff Bezos and giving it to a broke streamer in need. Appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, what am I doing? Trying to itch my eye, slaying demons. Hey Phil, why are you farming statues if you hate the new Colossal Ancients? Well, it doesn't matter what you think about like the content being fun or whatever, you have to get the item. So like they force you to do something that you don't want to do. So yeah, that's just what it is. You have to go farm these statues that you know can take 7 billion years that I don't want to do, and then I have to go do the Colossal Ancients that I don't want to do. You know, there's no other choice. It's not like every item. So Diablo 2 is always made where if you want to find Griffin's Eye, you can go a lot of places. The pits, Cast Sanctuaries, you know, ancient tunnels. They added some new ones like the Stony Tombs is cool. You want Mang Songs, same deal. Ja Rune, you don't have to go one place to get a Ja Rune. Every item in Diablo 2 has always been like that. Until they started adding these lame end game stuff, like going to do Ubers and Uber Ancients, you know, so. But you still, Ubers is boring and dumb. Declone's boring and dumb, but I gotta do it, or I'm not gonna be able to get the item that's sick. What are you gonna not have an Annie? Not have a torch, right? So that's kind of the reason why that is. I have to boringly farm this stuff like this, where I'm not getting the statues fast enough, so I have to like seal pop pretty much to get to Diablo faster, so that I can get these boring statues to go do boring Colossal Ancients. But yep, I'm just picking and choosing other packs along the way, so it makes it slightly less boring. So hopefully I get lucky with you know, other stuff. Hopefully I get some 220 Javas or something. Mm-hmm. I'm using a Magic Sunday. I do have one, but I'm not sure. This is. I'm pretty much using it most. Like, it's got Magic Find, it's got Life. It does kind of have the hurt you thing or whatever. But so magic damage from Fists of the Heavens or from the Holy Bolts is different than normal magic damage. And I'm not saying does or doesn't or whatever. I'm not familiar or sure. if the magic damage from the minus magic resistance from Sunder Charms actually helps the Holy Bolt magic damage. Because even though this is magic damage, it's magic damage to undead and demons. And if monsters are immune to magic damage, you can still deal damage with the Holy Bolts. So that would lead me to believe that the minus res doesn't actually help it. But I don't know, and I haven't looked into it any more than that. But I actually am. So. I decided to throw it in there because the minus magic res doesn't really hurt me while I'm out here, and I get some more magic find that way. Is pretty much, you know, magic find in life. Been finding a lot of unsocketed stuff, like unsocketed ethereal stuff that I could socket. Which, how many different... Maybe I'll just hit it with the rune recipe, the cube recipe, to see if I get 3 or something. And then I'll probably get 4, because it's a 50% chance of 4 or something else, but... Because any superior stuff I get, I can Larzik for 4 automatically, and yeah. That's... We'll wait on him. Oh yeah, I forgot I just picked that up. Pretty good. Quite a bit of density over here, I'd say. Hi, Rockstar. What's going on, hardcore player? Welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, appreciate you. My goodness. Thank you for the kind words. I have gotten good at using that one. Igloo Pilot going pretty good here. Hopefully you're doing great as well. Got enough of the barb. Yeah, I stopped playing the barb like several days ago. I did have enough of throw barb playthrough. So, yep. Okay. If I found that on the throw barb playthrough, it would have been sick, right? That could have helped me out. Not really that much damage, actually, but bonus attack rating. I don't know if that would have helped me out or not, actually. Probably wouldn't have, now that I thought it was more damage than that. I guess I could upgrade it, right? Isn't there's Francisca. I think there's the next higher level one. Maybe we could upgrade it. I don't know the level or whatever, but this... Oh man, I used all my scrolls. Let me go grab another scroll real quick. I've seen some over here. I thought. I did not. Never mind. Over here? I guess I probably should just went back to town real quick. Forget it. That's going to be nothing anyways. Mom! Yo! Welcome in, Mom. Hopefully you're doing great. Hopefully you're doing great. See, Doggy saying he sent the plus damage Sunder Charm does change the damage amount on Fist of the on the Holy Bolt, huh? I didn't look into it. I didn't hear that. I didn't, you know. I don't even know if I have a plus damage one actually. A fizzy. Yeah, I don't. It's the only one I got too. Either way, but yeah, I don't know. I never. What does the Google machine say on that, huh? So according to AI, which must be true. Wow. It's actually the AI thing. It's citing, let's see. It's citing Reddit. Blizzard forums and Reddit. So it says no, a renewed magic thunder charm does not help Holy Bolt. Holy Bolt's only damages undead and demon targets and inherently passes through and ignores standard enemy damage logic for other types. Meaning magic thunder charm does not increase its damage output. According to AI, citing Reddit. Random Reddit people, so. Take it to the bank, it's true. Preston Finita. Super lucky, what, a few days weekend, you say? Low Jaw and Burr? My goodness. I didn't go back to town yet. Alright, let's go back. I keep forgetting to stop at the cube, because I'm dumb. That's what we call truth nowadays. Yeah, that's just hashtag facts. Yeah, you get it now. Like, it was on AI. Like, I need to clean that stuff up again. AI citing Reddit, good enough for the gov, yeah. Already got him. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what am I doing here? I'm getting confused. Let me finish this up. Yeah, I don't know that I would trust that answer on AI. There's some things that I would. Like if I pull up the AI and it cites my video and I'm like, okay, well, I'll trust that, I guess. Wicked Ball, what's going on? Sorry if I didn't shout you out earlier. What's going on, Saffron? What's the mercenaries gear? So it's not the best gear you can have. It's kind of budget, actually. We'll show it for you just here in a second. It is, so I just got a G-Face, Hysteria, Lawbringer, Amlemco, and actually an Azarath, which this is, there's a lot of other options I would rather have there, but I don't have the right socketed items to make these other little rune words that I could make and stuff, and yeah. So, usually it's either Azarath or Kingslayer, because they both have that Sanctuary aura. That's what's like knocking back all these undead and demons. Or the undead, I mean. Not the demons, the undead, I mean. So it's unnecessary to have both of them on, but I don't have another option, really. Farming statues for next season. This is offline single player right here. So I'm farming the statues now because they said in the new patch notes that they were lowering the drop rates next season. So if I want to, you want to get the jewels because they're crazy, they're insanely powerful. And yeah, I just figured I'd get statues now when they're a little bit faster, because just farming statues is like super lame, and you know, and then doing Uber agents is super boring and lame. So I just figured I'd get it out of the way while I could do it a little bit faster, even though I'm finding almost nothing. Like I'm finding like a statue per hour here from Diablo. Maybe I just need to skip the whole Chaos Sanctuary and just blast the seal popping faster. Just strictly only pay attention to the seal popping. I'll do that on the next run or so. I'll do that on the next run. But yeah. That's fine. We'll leave that in there. Strictly seal popping. The thing is I go by and I get FOMO of all these monster packs. Like, ooh, that was probably a burr right there. You know, like, look at all that density. Of course I say that, and then it's like the most dense Chaos Sanctuary of all time. Maximum possible density in the Chaos Sanctuary. Would you rather be able to play Diablo 2 but once a day at a random time? Wait, what? Mason, that's a really weird question. I'm not going to respond to that. I guess. Anyways. Good old Salet. Rockstopper, right? Why is it slipping my mind? It's Rockstopper, right? Yeah. Yeah. Where are we at here? Astrians, Haas over Hoto Spirit combo. So I'm using Haas, Heart of the Oak. If you use Astrians, +4 Astrians. Do you mean this thing? What do you mean Astrians? What am I thinking Astrians? I gotta look at Astrians real quick. Astrians. Oh yeah, 2 to 4 to combat skills. No FCR. So it makes it tough. If you'd have to drop down to like the, what is it, a 42 FCR breakpoint, or I don't even know what it is, to be honest. If you did both Haas and this thing over here, then you'd have to go with an FCR circlet, and like you'd have to have like a 20 20 20 for 60 70 20 40 60. I guess you could go 75 20 10 20 25, and that'd be 75. So you'd have to have like a perfect circlet. It'd be tough. It'd be tough. So maybe I'd have to look at it. What would be, so 2 to foe, that's got just the combat skills. Foe and Holy Bolt. Let me look real quick here. So it's got just the combat skills with nothing else. This has some, I mean, mana regen, big whoop. Not that it's really much of anything there either. I probably wouldn't do that. I mean, so you're making all that sacrifice. It's like something you would do if you like price wasn't an option and you have hero editor or something like. But under 99.9% of circumstances, I would never tell someone to do that. Because you're doing all of that maneuvering to get one, if I'm looking at it correctly, 1 extra skill point. Or, you know, when you can just throw on generic gear and get essentially the exact same clear speed. Not to mention when you go off of Heart of the Oak, you lose 40 all res. You'd have to make that up somewhere. So yeah. Unless you get a crazy, like how crazy your circle would be with FCR, you'd be losing damage reduction, all your like magic find there. I think it's an unnecessary attempt to increase damage output. Of course, this is with me out without ever trying it, so. Which character is starting the season? So the next upcoming season, I think I'm going to do a sorceress. Just like, I've been doing like, the last few have been warlock, of course, and then I did some like, oh, I'm starting with a corpse explosion druid. Oh, I'm starting with a, you know, throw barb. I'm starting only running trav with a barb. Like I've been doing a lot of, you know, I'm starting, you know, I did a wind druid. So I think it's time. I'm just going to do a sork, do the Nova sork like I like doing, and do that, and then yeah. Where were we at? Astrians makes the smiting possible. Because it's got crushing blow on it. Gotcha. I see. Oh, I see. Jason Williams, welcome in. Sorry, I'm getting a little behind here, trying to catch up. Okay. Here we go. Now I don't feel as bad. This one's less dense. I don't feel as bad about just seal popping it real quick. Not as bad at all. Whoa! Even though I'm a pally, I don't want to get telly stomped by Lord Desais, I'll tell you that much. Ooh, that might be a new one for me. Oh, it's not. Never mind. Pokemon. Wait. Oh, two-socketed. I can make a sick strength rune word in that, maybe. I think that's any weapon. Just watching for Printer Friday? Ah, you're gonna come back on Friday, huh? Nice. Reign of the Warlock on sale? Yeah, probably. I don't know for sure, though. G-Stacks. Astrian Haas is what I shoot for during a season? Make a foe smite hybrid? Gotcha. So that way you, like, do... You're saying you do Ubers with it and you never have to swap any gear even or anything? Interesting. You know what? I don't usually check these, but I would always like 2 to barb skills, 3 to battle orders, 3 to find item. You know. Nope, it's not statues. I'm going to skip it. Loot filter fixed on console. I didn't know there was a problem with loot filter on console, so sorry. Tanimal, welcome in. Show the Merc gear real quick. I just did a second ago. Whatever, we'll go over it again, I guess. So I just got the Frenzy Merc, G-Face, get a little crushing blow, Hysteria, attack faster and stuff. Lawbringer is pretty cool. Usually you'd either want to use Lawbringer on this Merc or Azarath, but I don't have rune word bases to make the rune words I want to, so I just had to go with whatever I had found so far, kind of sort of. So Manald with the walk run sounds interesting. It's a little boost to, you know, if you want to get mana leech, then oh, maybe I'm a melee character. Okay, got a little walk run, you know, so little boost on that. Yeah. A couple of them sound interesting for, you know, early on. And the thing is too is it's never when they put something out, when they change a skill, when they change an item, it's never 100% everyone knows exactly how it'll end up being used, you know what I mean? Because like when people made Mosaic 100% on keeping up the charges, they obviously didn't think, oh, this would break the game, right? Or they wouldn't have done it. And nobody would have recommended to do it if they didn't realize it would have break the game. But it completely busted it, right? So it's going to be the same way with these rune words. There might be instances where we don't even realize it, but there might be an end game build that uses Manal now, you know? End game, like, I don't know, trap barb or something that you don't teleport with, you know, or something. You know, a Pindle barb of some kind, you know, where you just run through town out and then you just like jump out and blast Pindle, like one of those type of barbs, you know? So yeah. What's the weapon he has that allows him to teleport? So in D2R here, are you talking about? This has one to, it's Enigma rune word that has teleport on it. Right here. If that's what you're asking. You can, on YouTube, you could go back and pause it if you want to look at it a little bit more, but Enigma is pretty common. Every single character uses it, essentially. The Wharf Star main on a Goldfine barb? Well, I don't know if I said Goldfine. I think I said Trav barb, but I don't know what I said, but... The main thing is whatever I said was right, because I'm always right, so... Igloo Pilot said it could be a Pindle blasting ring. I love it. Yeah, the only thing is isn't Pindle undead or something? So actually you don't leech from skeletons and stuff. So really it's just a ring with run walk for that particular instance. But see, I'm not a perfect theory crafter guy, but I'm just saying there could be instances for some of these things. Double upped blink bat for endgame with the hit recovery and attack speed on it or whatever. I don't know. I'm just kind of making stuff up here, but you never know. Wait a second. Did I just break the game? Double upped blink bat endgame. So it has walk run, which is gonna be higher, and hit recovery. I just broke the game. Double upped blink bat is gonna be the end game. No, it's joking. JK. Yeah. Phil, always right. This is true. I'm glad you finally understand. Phil, I know you say you're always right, but what about all them times you were wrong? Don't worry about those. Fine. Rice, yo! Thank you for the €2 super.
At Rice B's donated €2 through Super Chat. Because you're always right, laughing face.
Yep, always right. Glad we all came to an understanding here. The only time I was wrong was the one time that I thought I was wrong. Checks out. Buy 2 wrist/arm sleeves, like tattoos you talking about, or do I need like the Allen Iverson sleeves you're talking about? I don't know which one. Frostburn knows what's up. Frostburn Ogre Gauntlets. What a legendary name. If you spelled ogre, but if you spelled it OH-GREE, that'd be the only way it'd be cooler. Ever played the Rift Kicksin? I don't believe I've ever even tried it, to be honest. I've seen it, but it's not one that I ever got around to or whatever. Whatever you want to word that as. Grab you. Once again, I forgot to go back to town. Well, he's right here. Almost dead. Of course, he dies over top of the out of bounds. Perfect. Perfect. Don't forget. Oh, you know what? One thing I was forgetting too, by the way. Hit the like button. Ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, by the way. Don't want to forget that. Wolf Howl Barb. Yeah, I've done Wolf Howl before. Wolf Howl Barb, pretty cool. Massive tank. You just like, with no effort at all, you have like 7k life. Just like walking around all hulking with the... They need to raise the drop rates on these statues. This is just ridiculous. Oh, so not perfect, of course, but 1 to light raise. Legendary, but FCR with 11 all res with 31 to lightning. So great for Nova Sork, Lightning Sork. You're making up for the Sunday on the ring. 10 FC and 11 to all the other instances or whatever. It could just go on other characters that need FCR and need to make up lightnings. That's a sick ring right there. Like I said, not perfect, of course. 3 to max is a wasted roll. And then the charge bolt when struck's kind of wasted, but the one light radius is good too, of course. Everyone knows the OP-ness of light radius, so yeah, it's not a bad ring. One that you'd be excited to find if you needed a good, if you needed an FCR ring, I guess. Yeah. Did I enjoy the Hall of Fame stuff? I didn't. I did not see it actually, Axel. I did not watch that stuff. I kind of would have, but honestly, it seems like something I wouldn't forget, but I forgot about it. Seems like something I wouldn't forget. But I forgot about it, yeah. Foe would like that one if you're using the, oh, like the Lightning Sunday. It would like it if I was using Lightning Sunday. Yeah, I can see that. Phil says OP-ness. Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, okay. Of course, Bone would say that. I see what you did there. we'll move on from that one. Well played, sir. Well played. Got him. I don't know if I can move on after that one, though. I kind of like... feel like I died a little inside on that one. I'm not going to repeat it. So it's like saying overpoweredness, but I said like OP with the last part on there, and just say that out loud to you. Like overpoweredness, but instead of saying the overpowered part, say OP with the end part. And then say it out loud, and then say the nest part right after the P, and then you'll understand. Yeah, it's like the fail sound effect, G-Stacks. I got this soundboard thing. I gotta use it, right? I don't know how they're all balanced based upon the music volume, so, you know, it's hard to say how good they sound. It's not a Freudian slip, it's just like what the word sounds like, you know? It's kind of like if someone would say the word like masticating, and you guys are like, oh, did you hear what he said? Oh, it kind of sounds like this. Ah, you know, it's more of a you guys thing than a me thing, but either way. Turned up quite a bit. Gotcha. We'll have to do a test run on all of the sound effects, maybe, huh? Yeah, T-Bone, exactly. Got another statue finally, thank goodness. First statue of the day, only 38 minutes in. So some of them are probably fine, like this one. That's probably fine, right? Cash register might be fine. Nope. Nope's probably fine, I think. Bah! Probably fine. I can turn them all up individually, so I just would have to do it sometime. Why am I not TZing these games? Because it's tough to farm statues when you're running terror zones that are not the ones that can drop statues, right? Kind of makes perfect sense, to be honest. Plus, I wanna farm where I want to farm. I don't want to farm where Blizzard decides that I have to play. I want to play the game the way I want to play it, not the way they say I have to be forced to play when I don't want to play it, you know what I mean? So. Yeah. What's going on? I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. Mataz? Do forgive me if I fumbled that. Oh, what I didn't fumble was a Gull Rune. Boom. TZ. So you want me to use another, you want me to use a shard every minute and a half? Use another shard to seal pop to get to Diablo to farm statues? That just doesn't, I could be wrong, but that doesn't sound viable to me. Could be wrong, though. Could be wrong. Wolf, what's going on? We usually frown upon all caps, but I'll let it go this one time because of your hypeness. Oh, we're right here. Yeah, VV up a minute ago. He says, use a shard per run. How many shards do you got? I mean, they do drop quite a bit. I could do 64, so I could do like an hour. of that.
I can't.
See, I guess that's one thing I never really looked into. That's probably why I get so many more Andara ones. So, like, how the level changes how many statues drop. So, whoops. Yeah, close enough. They'll figure it out. So, who are we citing here? Some guy on YouTube I've never heard of, and Reddit. So, according to AI that cites Reddit, so take that, and some website I've never heard of. A high level Terror Zone Diablo does not drop more statues than a lower level Terror Zone. That's not what I said, but that's not what does a high level Terror Zone drop more statues than maybe I'll type standard Diablo so you can answer the right question. So yeah, terrorized Diablo can drop statues. Wait. Okay, here's where you can't trust AI. Terrorized Diablo can drop statues, whereas standard Diablo has virtually no chance. Standard bosses do not drop special endgame statues at standard rates. The mechanic relies heavily on bosses being terrorized. So, yeah, I don't know how much higher it is. So, double the rate according to what you had seen. Could be. I guess that's one thing I forgot to kind of look into a little bit more. But the thing is, I mean, I don't know. I could just not farm statues right now, I guess, but I mean, I can't just pop shards forever. Big massive shards forever. See what I did there? Yeah, pretty much I wouldn't be able to farm statues today. I could farm some statues on Wednesday. God, what a disaster. Why do they keep trapping things behind time clocks and stuff? Not that there's trap behind it, but... And if it's at double the rate, that's not really... It's better, of course, I do agree, but... I just have so many Andy statues because I run Andaro so freaking much, but... You can do 2 times less games. Right. So instead of getting 3 statues, I'd get 6. I don't know that it's... Yeah, I don't know. Exactly. Huge boost. I mean, I suppose. I'll stick with what I'm doing. And sometimes he just melts him. There's that legend sword, which I have a million of. I don't know. I feel like 157 is not a good roll either way, but... Yeah, there is, of course, a factor in there, and I'm not saying I necessarily 100% know the math is, but I can guarantee with 100% certainty that the runs would not be the exact same speed, even though they drop at double rates. Would it be 5% slower? Would it be 100% slower? I don't know necessarily, but all of the monsters are higher level and have more life, so it would take slightly longer to take out each monster, right? Would it take 2% longer or 50% longer? I don't know necessarily for sure, but Diablo would have way more life and survivability, and each monster would. So everything would be a tiny bit slower at minimum, so. Hit the shard, only pop the shard right before you take out Diablo. I don't know about that, bro. That doesn't sound like the way I want to use all the, because they're going to be reducing the drop rates of these shards too, significantly for the next season. So I don't know that I want to, just before the season, the new patch, waste all the shards I've saved up when they're going to be at lower rates too, overall. So yeah, I mean, you are sort of right, but I just don't think that's what I really want to do. But sounds like everything you're saying it's stuff I hadn't looked into, or I didn't really like ponder before. But I think when I think about it, I don't really want to do that. Good old Blood Raven. Blood Raven's charge. Yeah, HX exactly. It does feel it, and who knows, maybe it is actually technically worth it or whatever. But it is one of those things. It's almost like cubing up low runes because you need to get to Ja. You know, like that would take like 8 low runes, and you're like, man, I have 8 low runes, but I really need a Ja, and you're like, boy, this is painful to do. Like, do I really want to do this? You're like, ugh. But yeah, using 64 world shards here to get 6 statues instead of 3, and not farm any of the rest of the area and stuff seems problematic. For specifically getting the statues before the patch comes out, I think I just want to kind of seal pop, and I do take out other monsters along the way because I have a compulsion to do so. But real quick, oh, I didn't hit that. I thought, come on, clickety. Yeah, appreciate / understand the thought process, but I think I'm gonna go with just doing this and getting the statues that I can here. How many statues are you aiming for? Didn't have a set number. I honestly thought that the statue drop rates would be better than this, but apparently only Andariel drops 1 million statues. I never tried to go get statues from Bale and Diablo. I thought Diablo would be a lot better. Bale was going to be a disaster because of having to do Bale waves, but I didn't think that Diablo, like, at the seal popping, like a slow seal pop, we'll call it, because I'm not doing a true seal pop, but a slow seal popping speed would be better than this. But yeah, I think we've exhausted the conversation on using the shards, so I think we'll just go ahead and move on from that one. Mueller, I don't see if you're responding to someone else's comment. Generally, I do think it is a good idea to cube up to make Enigma. Yeah, because Enigma's just so nasty. And you'll be able to farm at what very likely is probably double the speed. So then you're more likely to get more runes that you did cube together anyways, you know, kind of one of those situations. But that's obviously just an opinion. AI cited a YouTuber saying you should never farm just one thing. Well, that's why I'm killing the other monsters along the way too, I guess. But not all of them. But also, that YouTuber, I don't know who it was. I bet it was some super handsome, smart guy, but also wasn't speaking of one particular instance just before a patch dropped where they are dramatically decreasing the drop rates on one specific item like 4 days from now. So a little bit different. A little bit different situation. That's like saying, like, yeah, you should definitely not kill people. And then it's like, so some guy breaks into your house and has a gun to your wife's head. So you're just going to be fine with that? And well, no, like in that instance, like... Well, you said... No clankers. That phrase is hilarious. Dang it. I don't want Maddox Ire. Get out of here. I get a statue from Diablo and it's a stupid Mephisto one. That no clankers is just a hilarious phrase, by the way. And these guys are going to drop me a high rune, I think. Next time I met. Yeah, well, I wasn't saying you necessarily should, but that's like an instance where you could, Saffron, not necessarily you just should, but like, where you could see it. Ooh, a big fat double shard. Oop, what did I just... Sorry, I just clicked... Sorry, I just like clicked somewhere I didn't mean to, and it messed everything up. For just a second. Cave Troll says he feels like bail drops are pretty bad just in general. I honestly don't think so personally, but I think the biggest thing is just because you can only do like one bail run per like 3 minutes. And then if you run Andariel, it's like in 3 minutes you can do 6 to like, if you're going real fast, even more than 6 runs in the same amount of time, like of that particular boss, you know what I mean? Could be wrong, but Barthmus says, I finally get a statue and then I complain about it. Well, if you dropped the Diablo one or the Baal one, I would be happy. But dropping a Mephisto one, that's like one of those things like, you know, when you know, careful what you wish for when you get a genie. It's like, I wish I was the richest man in the world. And then it makes, and then it like makes you super rich, but then every other human disappears on the whole planet. So you're just like, you have all of the like, money, but there's no people in the world, so the money is worthless because you can't buy anything from anybody. You know, one of those things. It's like, you asked for a statue. It's like, yes, but yeah, I can't remember what is that like called. I don't know, but where you make a wish and it takes it in the worst possible way that it could go. You know. No one should ever try to MF or bail. Yeah, I feel like the bail waves too. Like, I honestly, whenever I would like farm bail, like usually, you know, it's for experience or whatever, but sometimes I'll do it for videos or whatever. That's a little bit different situation. But I feel like I would always get more stuff. Ooh, that's almost good. Oh, NATO, never mind. You get more stuff while you're like clearing the throne room than you do from the waves. Which, why did the bail waves drop nothing? Why are the drop odds like that? I don't know, but kind of funny. Every once in a while you get something, but yeah. Wasn't there a movie about that? Bewitched? Could have been. Ancient Shield, what is that? Radament's Saphir? Monkey Paw? Guess there could be a lot of those type of movies. I feel like it's a premise that's been used more than once. I'm okay with them lowering anti-meth, but would be okay with them leaving Diablo and Baal as is. So seeing how this is now, I kind of would agree. The only thing too is that online, there's just like, I could see for online maybe, yeah, I don't know. Because people run Chaos Sanctuary and Baal like a lot, right? Online. And the Diablo runs are like, because everybody's just eight people blasting everything, right? But yeah, on single player, it's kind of annoying. I don't know. Who knows? I guess part of the thing is I just don't like doing this, you know? So, of course, things that you don't like are going to seem worse. You know? Like, I don't want to farm Diablo and Baal when I don't want to farm Diablo and Baal, right? So it's like, which this isn't terrible. I mean, running the Chaos Sanctuary isn't the end of the world. So it is what it is. Not terrible. Do mercenaries get more aggressive when they level up? I don't believe so, no. Aggressive, huh? Mine probably seems aggressive because I have Hysteria on him, which makes him run super fast, so he instantly, like, gets after it, you know? Biv. Wonder Woman from 1984 had that theme about the... Interesting. Sheldon, welcome in. Recently got back into D2. Love to hear it. Welcome in. Cape Troll is only runs Baal when it's TZ'd. Yeah, I don't even really do it a lot. Yeah, I'm not a big Baal. Not a big fan, you know. I usually never worry too much about leveling up because, like, when you're out farming for other stuff, it just naturally happens. Especially with Terror Zones the way they're, you know, you'll just kind of level up randomly if you run Terror Zones ever. Which I'm not a big Terror Zone guy, but you know, you just accidentally do them sometimes. So, Sheldon, yo, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Zelaya ship whenever it comes through the chat on the Noti. I gotta remember to go back to the stash. The notification broken? What's going on over here? But thank you so much, Sheldon, once again. You Slayer. Okay, I guess we gotta go back to town. I don't know if I missed it, but I didn't see the notification pop up. You like the Terror Zones before Heralds? Yeah, and you can just not take out the Heralds, I guess. You could just leave. But they are upping the coefficient number or whatever, so they should drop more good stuff, the Heralds anyways. And it said in the post that the drop rates for Sunder Charms from Heralds aren't going to change. Oh, hold up. 1 to traps with the maximum of 6 to strength. That's actually nasty, because then the traps you can put on like the Enigma and stuff had lower strength levels, giving you more vitality and stuff. Huge. Huge. That's cool. And I don't have very many skillers on single player, so that's awesome. But yeah, what they said is that they were going to up the amount of like the uniques coefficient number, the rare item coefficient number, whatever. And since Heralds drop Sunder Charms from both the special drop table and the Magic Find drop table, theoretically, if they drop, if the Sunder drop table stays the same, and then they have the magic drop table that goes up. They should drop more Sunder Charms, you'd think. But the post didn't say that, and I don't know if they just worded it incorrectly or if I'm misunderstanding something. Could be either or. Fishaholic, yo, says lunchtime. Welcome in. Lunchtime, lunchtime. So they said the magic find, they worded several things weird. So they said they were stopping the magic find drop from nightmare difficulty. It was worded very strangely, I'm gonna be honest. Let me I'll pull it up real quick so we can look at it. Maybe you guys are like, no, Phil, this is pretty obvious. You're looking at it wrong. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Dang it, where's just a regular... It's here? Okay, there we are. Scroll down. Maybe I'm just completely looking at it wrong here. So, increase the drop rates of rare stuff from the higher level heralds. So it's not like the tier 1 and 2 heralds are still going to be like Garbo, but 3s and up are going to be better. Grafanzo, yo, thank you for the 16 months of Slayership.
16 months ever.
Thank you so much. The minimum drop level from Latent Sunder Charms went from 69, nice, to 75. Which, what is interesting about that is Andariel's monster level is 75, but her item, what's the way you word it? Her monster level 75, but her what do you call it? Her treasure class is lower. So I don't know the drop level if they're talking about the treasure class. They would have to be, I guess, right? But anyways, let's get to the thing we said right here. Latent Sunder Charm drops through Magic Find now only drop in Hell difficulty. So what that's saying is that you're not going to be able to find Sunder Charms in Nightmare anymore. It doesn't work from Magic Find. The Magic Find only works in Hell difficulty to get Sunder Charms to drop. So, yeah. But this is the one that was interesting to me too. So the drop rates for Latent Sunder Charms using Magic Find. Wait, reduce the drop rate of Latent Sunder Charms when using Magic Find. But the Herald drop rate is unaffected. So if it's increasing the rare quality from the higher level the higher tier Heralds, the higher tier Heralds drop rates overall for Sunder Charms are going to go up because there's more rare items dropping and higher quality items. So you'll get more unique Grand Charms. And that will be added on top of the Herald drop rates being unaffected from the, and I believe this means the Sunder Charm drop table. You know what I mean? So it would, from tier 3 and up, should have higher drop rates than they did before on Sunder Charms, I believe. But see, it's kind of like some of the stuff's worded weird, so yeah. So moldy grains, which line are you talking about before? Because I said like 9 things, and I didn't see when you put that in, unfortunately. So up a minute ago, Darren said you can get Sunder Charms from TZs in Nightmare. So you could before, but you're not going to be able to anymore because unless you get the Magic Find would be the one that you would get in Nightmare, the Magic Find Sunder Charm drop, because the level would be high enough. But in Nightmare now, the Magic Find drop only works in Hell now. So you're not going to be able to get them in Nightmare. How can the Magic Find drop be reduced for Sunders? So yeah, there's like I don't know. There is a way that they can adjust how rare or not rare like unique items roll or whatever. The thing that this is too, and this is one thing that is kind of It must be here too. What am I looking at here? So reducing the drop rate of latent Sunder Charms for Magic Find. I believe what this also means, you know how it was equally weighted? One of each Sunder Charm and Geed's Grand Charm? I believe what that means too is that now Geed's is going to be more common than it was after the initial change. Because less, like, I don't know the numbers, but like, it'll be like 2 Sunder Charms. Like, if you looked at all the different ones, it'll be like, if you find, I think there's 8 Sunder Charms, right? Or no, what am I an idiot? Oh, 4, 5. There's 6, right? So if there's 8 total unique Grand Charms drop, like 2 of them will be Geeds, and like the other 6 would be Sunder Charms. Like the odds, you know. But before it was like 1 out of 7 was a Geeds, I think. But this is just like an example number. That's not the real numbers. But if they reduce the rate that Sunder Charms pop out because of Magic Find, that should, in hand, make it so more Geeds come out, right? Did you see they changed streamer drop rates back to normal? They fixed that bug? What? Are you serious? No, joking. Just joking here. Euler thinks that Sunder Charms only drop from Terra Zones. Yeah, that was, I wonder, it couldn't have just been me, but that was a change that I really wanted, to have Sunder Charms drop from other places. Because I'm sick of them putting things in the game, telling me what I have to do when I have to do it. I'm sick of it. So that was something that I mentioned in my videos a lot. They probably heard it from other. I would be shocked if I said something and then they instantly did it. But I want Diablo 2 items to drop like Diablo 2 items. Like if you want to do like where you do WoW raids and you go do the whatever king or whatever, and he drops you this item, or if whatever other games are like that, go play those games. In Diablo 2, a Zod rune can drop from like anywhere, like a bunch of different places in hell difficulty of high enough level. Or like a Geed's Grand Charm from Magic Find from all different places. But for some reason, everybody wants to be told what to do and be told when they have to do it. You know, I don't know. That's not the type of thing. I don't want to have to go run Terra Zones in areas I don't want to run when I don't want to run them or something like that to find things. I want Diablo items to drop like Diablo items, right? That's just me. Everyone's got a different opinion. Some people want Diablo 2 to be like a different game. But I don't. Moldy said, cool finding stuff with tiny odds. That too, yeah. When you get super lucky and you're just like, oh my god, I was not expecting that. You know, it's not like... So pretty much what I'm doing now, trying to farm statues, this is what would be the example of finding Sunder Charms in only one area, and that's just the only way to find them. There's no excitement about it. Like finding statues here, it's not like, I got a statue, yes! It's like, I'm going to work to be compensated with my statues. And it's more like, why am I not being compensated for the statues I'm farming? Ugh. Like, come on, drop already. It's the exact antithesis of enjoyment, actually. Another double durability on that thing right there, so. Div said he'd be on board with Diablo dropping every item because he is the name of the game. That has always been a weird thing, too. I would agree with that. That Diablo should be high enough to drop like everything, pretty much. I did get a little behind here. I went on a little bit of a rant, but it is a rant that I truly believe in, so. Annies and torches. Yeah, if they just got rid of Annies and torches, that'd be fine with me, yeah. Or just had them drop from other places, you know? Like Diablo 2 items, yes. Torches and Annies, the way you have to go farm the keys, and then you have to go, you take your smiter and you go boringly do Ubers, and then, oh, okay, I got my torch, cool. Like, it's so boring. It's not exciting at all. Yeah. Countess dropping runes. Problem with it, there was a functional shift in the game that made it so rune words are like the way you do things, so at this point in the game it's almost required. But wouldn't it be sick if like, are you ever excited to go farm the Countess and make a stealth? Does that like make like, oh yes, that's woo, yes. No, it's like, here I go, do the job of making stealth, you know. That's one thing that everyone always says that too. Like, it was cooler before you had to make rune words at the beginning of the game. It was cooler when you used rare and magic stuff and you'd find things and actually use them, right? Everybody always mentions that, how before rune words it was more fun, you know, which I think is factual, really. But that's just kind of where the state of the game is, right? So yeah, the answer is yes. Like, you could get rid of that, and you know, but the game's already really good though. Do we want to change things and then have it end up like worse in some other way that's unintended? It's like, woo, there we go. Getting some skillers. Love to see it. At least I'm getting some, because I need more and more and more. We need more and more and more skillers. Sunder Charms. If only I can drop that. What would replace Ubers with Annie drops and stuff? It would just, nothing would replace it. It would just go away, you know? That'd be like how Mosaic is like busted. You're like, well, what would replace Mosaic? It's like, no, you just need to get rid of it. You know, you could just get rid of Declone and Annie and stuff, Declone and Ubers and stuff. There would be no keys. You wouldn't go to Ubers because it's boring, you know? Oignard. I had to have found this already, right? Vine Ripper? Yeah. Bradley said he'd rather have paywalled content than have to farm keys and statues. I mean, that's a bit extreme in my opinion, but farming keys and statues. Shadow said he thinks was the worst non-Diablo thing they added. Worst non-Diablo thing. I'm not sure on what to make of that necessarily, but I mean, the only quote-unquote good thing about keys is it's like easy value at the beginning of ladder, but if you're not looking for something to trade at the beginning of a season to get a little bit of value to be able to make, like, to get a Viper Magi or something, then it's like there's nothing good about it. The first stealth could be exciting, but not the 70th. Yeah. 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 Lions getting the injuries out of the way early. Yeah. What was there? Was that their new? Who was that again? I'm not too familiar with the new offensive lineman they got. Was that the new center? Is that what I gathered of who got hurt for the Lions there, Biv? But yeah. Antok saying you like getting stealth early on. Well, I like getting it too, but the act of getting it is not enjoyable. You know what I mean? It's not fun. Turning left and turning left and turning left and turning left until you're at the bottom of the tower. And then you take out the monster that gives you the runes to make stealth. And they either do or you don't. And if you get it right away, it's like, okay, I got what I was coming here to specifically be compensated with. I'm being compensated with Taleth. You know, it's the difference between going to work or like gambling. Going to work and being compensated is one thing, and that's what you're doing farming the Countess and getting runes. You're going to work to be compensated with your pay. You know, you do the work, you get compensated. But that's not fun. Like, you can get $100 in two ways. You can go to work and get paid $100. Is that fun? No. Go to the casino Roll some dice. Boom! Ate the hard way. Let's go. Pay out the hard way. Pay out. I had 10 on, 50, you know, I had 30 bucks on 8. Pay it out. Won 100 bucks, baby. Woo! That's like exciting. Going to work is not exciting and fun, right? Diablo has always been about when you're finding items, you're essentially gambling. Every time you take out a monster, you're pulling the lever on the slot machine. You're pulling the lever again. You're pulling the lever again. You don't find anything. You don't find anything. Bam! I hit the jackpot, baby. Depends on your work. Nope, does not. People enjoying going to work is a myth, by the way. If things were fun to do, they wouldn't have to pay you to do it. Those are called hobbies that people pay to do. But anyways, where are we at? I know a lot of people disagree with my takes on this, so maybe we'll just cut that one out before everyone unsubs from my channel. We'll change the topic here, maybe. Started Warlock the first time ever, says nope. What are trophies? What are trophies? Trophies. Are you talking about the statues, or are you talking about like on console, how when you complete certain tasks you get like points or something? I'm sorry. Your opinion is wrong, sir, says Martin. Well, there you go. That's the thing about opinions. Mine's always right. So the statues are a thing they added in with Reign of the Warlock that you have to do. You know, like you have to go get these statues to then go ahead and go do these colossal ancients to then get this jewel that's like insanely bustedly powerful. Way more powerful than any other socket is stuff you could put in a socketed place. It's pretty much like a facet that also has magic find on it, and it has like a bunch of life on it or something. Like it has all these other things. So are they called protector stones? I think they're called. I manipulate your opinion without making you notice. That's the way to do it. You got to convince people that you didn't convince them, but they convinced themselves. You got to convince them that they came to the conclusion themselves without you tricking them into doing it. The serpent something, I think? Yeah, serpent lord. Yeah. Maybe. I always wanted a super high enhanced damage dagger. So many slot machine games have a pity system. Hope it stays that way in D2R. It's kind of funny because another thing I kind of advocated for that was has been referred to as a pity system, they actually implemented in D2R. And that was, you remember how before, when you'd go to farm heralds and you'd clear all of Act 1, all of Act 2, all of Act 3, and you wouldn't get any heralds sometimes? Other times you'd get like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 in one act, but other times because of the randomness of the heralds, you would do like 3 full act clears and you get no heralds. I kind of advocated for, man, you can't clear an entire act and get no heralds. So that's how they came up with this new system for heralds, how you get 1 per zone pretty much. So but it was so terrible, like you could only get Sunder Charms from heralds. So there's that RNG. There's the RNG of getting the heralds in the first place. There's so much RNG that it ends up feeling like you have no chance, you know? The worst part was doing 3 full act clears with like a budget character, because if you don't have a Sunder Charm, you obviously can't kill stuff very fast. So it's like, the worse you are, the worse chance you have of ever getting better. You know what I mean? So it felt super bad before. So I kind of advocated for what people referred to as the pity system. And there was other content creators, I seen them, they never called me out by name, I don't believe that I seen, but they were like, this new pity system is not how it should be. And I'm like, and I you know, I don't know. But yeah. On a blue magic boots in a nightmare with 35 magic find. Didn't know that blue magic could roll so high. I don't know the max, but yeah, you can like magic find boots like that, you can straight up shop those from vendors. I do that regularly on playthroughs and stuff. I'll throw them on, like I'll get that boss down to like a sliver of life, and then I'll throw on all the magic find gear. But yeah. The new system is exclamation points, or a bunch of stars, I mean. You know, like the new... so the reason that it seems worse... So, the Sunder drop rates from Andarl and stuff were too much. So it wasn't the Sunder thing that I wanted to have Sunder Charms drop from other areas, but I wanted them to be much more uncommon than what they are. You know? Is what I was thinking from other areas. Which I don't know how they're going to fall on the, you know, the drop rates from Heralds, how they're going to end up for this next season. But they said they're dropping the rates for Sunder Chimes from monsters outside of Heralds, so we'll have to see how it goes. See where it falls. Game over. I have a ring and Ammy with 35 magic find. Godly stuff dropping. Let's go. So yeah, Martin says he has a bunch of magic find and you get it, don't even get yellows from the heralds. Yeah, that's right now. I don't know if it was a bug or if they just put the number in the wrong spot. They had the decimal place in there. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened, but the number that is in the calculation to determine how much a monster drops of rare, like of high quality items like uniques and rares and sets and stuff, that number was too low, and I don't know if that was an oversight, a bug, an accident, I don't know, but they're turning it up for next season. So it's not impossible, but it's essentially impossible to get something good from a herald. It's not impossible, I've heard some stories, but it's essentially not what you want to try to do. Steve, welcome in. Heralds seem obsolete with the current system, B&B? Yeah, kinda, yeah. Yeah, I don't care about that. Obsolete. Yeah, it doesn't seem great, currently. With you know, the magic find rarity number or whatever it's, I don't remember what the number is called, but the good item drop coefficient number, whatever it's called, so. Fishaholic. What? This guy. Okay, let's get out of here. Stop moving. I'm trying to help you out, bro. What was that? Ah. Got me good. Hell's difficult. Game over. It can be, especially depending on how often you play through. Even ooh, perfect. No, ooh, 15 rows. Yeah, even unless I have like my favorite builds on playthroughs, even I'm like, this is annoying. This is hard. Like playthroughs can be tough. So, bow hammer hybrid build. So anything that worked before, if you're coming over to the expansion, will work exactly the same. And there's even other gear options for it that make it even better. So if anything worked before, in D2R anyways, like Nova works the same as it did before, Blizzard works the same. So if you play faux hammers, it will work exactly the same. Yep. It's ridiculous that heralds are tankier than act bosses. I I don't know that that's ridiculous if you're thinking of it in the sense that the heralds are, you can't get to them till after you beat all the act bosses in hell difficulty, so they are the next thing you would fight past them, right? I guess, like, lore-wise or something, maybe if you're looking at it that way, I can understand the sentiment. But, you know, they are essentially a boss, you know, like, they're the boss past the act bosses, so... yeah. First Pally build? Gotcha. Yeah, I never really played the combo bow hammers, but I've heard of people using it, so I can't comment too much on that, but act bosses are a pushover in D2. Sometimes, yeah. Like, I would much rather fight an act boss than a cursed, fanaticized, extra fast archer pack, you know? Much rather. Easy Peasy says the difficulty of the heralds makes you change your builds. So it is part of the thing to where, I don't know if it's good or bad. I guess you know, whatever you think. But it's like clearing terror zones. So you're clearing large trash mobs, you know, you're clearing. And then you're taking on something that you need to like pretty much have a smiter, you know. Then you're clearing trash mobs, and then you're taking on something that you need to be like a smiter, you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know if you think, you know, it's almost like it makes you do both content types at once, which is not my favorite thing, I guess, but hard to say exactly how they should be. Because it's not like a normal Diablo 2 mechanic, so... just in general, you're usually either taking out trash mobs or you're going at the like Ubers and declone and stuff, you know. It's not like you're doing both at the same time on the same build in the same game, you know. Good or bad? Yeah. I'll let you guys decide that, I guess. Didn't I hit the... oh, I didn't hit it. Oh. B&B says you seal pop the heralds in the cast sanctuary. There you go. Yeah, I found that out the other day too, that they seal pop works if they're near you, but if they're not by you, then they're still there. I never tried it before, but I just like, it happened to be terrorized when I was out here the other day. Interesting. I mean, the only thing with here's the thing with the heralds now though and stuff. Even though before, like even late, like they're gonna change the drop rates, so you're not gonna get 7 billion Sunder Chimes from Andariel and stuff. But the thing is even in the future here, I don't have to farm heralds. And you don't either. You never have to take out a herald ever again unless they change something, you know? Because there's nothing that's exclusively tied behind them. So you can go clear terror zones and a herald pops up and you just keep going. You're just doing terror zones the exact way you were before. If you're doing terror zones, that is. Or you just don't have to do terror zones, because there's no reason you even have to do terror zones, you know? You don't have to. Everything that you can get in terror zones, you can get somewhere else. Unfortunately, these new jewels are not that way. Torches are not that way. Annie's... I mean, Annie is so easy to get, it's almost like not even worth complaining about having it be trapped behind a thing, because declone is so easy. But, and I mean, Ubers is not hard either. You just grab a smiter, but like you have to go farm up the keys and stuff. I don't know. So the thing is like SOJs, you're trying to get them anyways. So it's, I don't know. But yeah, anyways. Heralds can chase you. They're super fast, extra fast heralds. I mean, I suppose, yeah, but I mean, you could think of a case where trying to avoid them would be annoying, but I'm just saying in general. You can just skip them and avoid them if you want to. Yeah, really all you have to do is uncheck terror zones in this game, and then boom, you never have to worry about Herald again. Never ever again. Worth farming Nightmare for an SOJ. So, on offline single player, I would say yes. Farming Nightmare Andy for an SOJ, I would recommend. Did I not hit? What'd I miss? Online, I would not. It's just vastly easier to like trade for an SOJ than... What did I do? Did he... Oh, did he not... Did he teleport away or something? Hit that seal. I hit this seal. I hit both of these up here, right? I must not have. Oh my gosh. This guy. Uh-oh. Playing games on your watch? What'd you up to? Alright. Don't fall, please. How to get Annie so easy. All you have to do to get an Annie is, on like any character, you just make the rune word that I forget the name of all the time for some reason, but you make ith lf in a polearm and throw it on an Act 2 mercenary. Keep your mercenary alive for a couple of minutes, and then, or not for a couple of minutes, but for a long enough time for him to land one strike on declone, and he will never regenerate life. He'll stop regenerating life because you get Malice. And then pretty much any character above level 70 can slowly take out declone. So, not to mention, you know, you just get some crushing blow. Buy a life tap wand from Akara from any melee character. You're just like Frenzy Barb, Fury Druid, Zealer, Smiter, anything, you know. But even if you're just like a Blizzard Sorceress, you just cast lower res on them, drop a Blizzard, run around, lower res, make sure it stays up, run around. Yeah. On single player, you just sell one SOJ to the vendor and declone spawns instantly. Online, a group of people have to sell a bunch of SOJs, but I mean, after about 1 week into ladder, declone spawns like 4 times a day, so maybe I'm exaggerating. 10 days to 14 days into ladder, declone spawns like once a week, so, or once a, like first it'll be once a day at first, and then after a few more days it'll be like 5 times a day. Euler up a minute ago saying he liked TZs. You like TZ farming, but you hated getting the heralds and stuff. Yeah, it makes sense. It does. Yeah, heralds are getting changed, and it should be, hopefully, people like it better. I don't mind the heralds too much as long as nothing is permanently trapped behind them, and there's no reason you can't just skip it, you know? But yeah. Oh, speaking of stone, of Jordan. Ah, well, it's not too bad, but 20 decks. Isn't 20 decks?
Perfect.
Right? The rest of it isn't perfect, but I just wanted to use the sound effect. Just wanted to use the sound effect. B&B says he's gotten like 30 Annies. Yeah, and you probably only got like 1/10 of the whatchamacallit when they spawned, right? Well, the season's been going on pretty long here, so, but yeah. Open wounds only last for 8 seconds? How is that? Length of open wounds. I'm almost positive it's more than 8 seconds, but... Huh. I've never had a problem with that ever being a problem. I guess keep your Merc alive longer than that, I guess. I've never had a problem ever with you know, just using ith-lf. I've been perfectly fine forever. Yeah, prevent monster heal lasts like super long time. I do know that. Like longer than you'd ever have to worry about. As long as you don't like, there's certain stipulations on leaving the area or something, but yeah, I've literally been Blizzard sorceress with a lore helm and a spirit sword and like rhyme and stealth and had absolutely no problem with declone. Ooh. Poison can work too. Yeah. Good old prevent monster heal jabs. Yeah, you can chuck those away. I have seen that before as well. Go shop them from Mala after enough time. I do feel like the I mean, if you go I do feel like making Malice is like the easiest option, but Zach says because I got streamer luck is why I could declone with a budget Blizzard Sork. Can't argue with the logic there. Streamer luck. Edge got prevent monster heal. Yeah, there you go. If you got one of those laying around, just shoot from a distance. Till eventually 7 minutes later you land one. And then it lasts for like 60 trillion years. Yeah, a lot of people have something on it that has prevent monster heal too. Of course, it's going to be tough to land. So I wouldn't necessarily say like, "What are you thinking? You should totally. This will work for everybody, and it's no problem." But Call to Arms has prevent monster heal. But yeah, how easy is that going to be to land him? All right, Marty, yo, welcome in. Speaking of welcome in, don't forget y'all hit that like button for me. Appreciate you on YouTube. Oopsie. Let's keep going here. Yeah, I think what Varthmas says there, that does sound accurate. Yeah, that when you land the shot with open wounds, it like resets the timer, so it happened. Yeah, so it doesn't like stack. We all know what this is. Stone of Jordan. Yeah, I guess that one's a little bit quiet according to G-Stex. I might have to turn him up. The volume on those, but got the timing down pretty good though. Stone of Nagel. Are you gonna pop up or what? Thank you. AZ, yeah, best of luck on getting Griffins there from Pindle. Hopefully you don't get one of those like 20,000 runs in and you don't get it yet or type of situations. Hopefully. Let's go over here. Why not redeem more life and stuff? Chance to redeem. Why not? What was I doing? Oh yeah. All right. What happened? Oh, thank you for the bits. Good afternoon. Appreciate you. What did I miss this G-Stex? Nothing. I was just saying how you said this sound effect was a little bit on the quiet side and I'll need to turn it up at some point. Oh yeah, I was going to look up real quick. I never looked it up. What are the actual drop odds? I know everybody's got their own favorite drop odds calc, but we'll just go with this one because I'm pretty sure you can find everything you need here. Some of the other ones I'm less familiar with on using, to be perfectly honest. Would you just call it statues? What are those things called? I guess you look them up. I'll look them up by each one. So we're looking at Bull, Kathos, and Nightmare. Wish you could just search statues, but Bull, Kathos, Nightmare. 1 in 240. But oh wait, Magic Find wouldn't change it. A little better on P3. Almost nothing to P5, so probably no change really, and realistically. So 1 to 3, you can make an argument here. Hell difficulty, bosses 1. I don't think so, but I'm gonna type it in just to make sure I'm right. Yeah, it doesn't change it at all with the Magic Find difference. It's only 1 statue and 240. Wait, Bale. I'm an idiot. That's how often Bale would drop one. 1 in 12 runs? What? Get out of here. Is it Terrorized is not checked. 1 in 12 runs? That's not even close to what I'm getting. Not even close. I wonder if they didn't change it already. So I don't know. That's not even close to what it's. I'm getting like 1 in like 30. That's crazy. I wonder if my luck is just that bad. I guess according to the max roll drop odds calc anyways. I know some people will say that's not right, this and that, max rolls is no good, you gotta use this one. No, that one's not good, you gotta use this one. I don't know. Usually they're all pretty close to each other, but they actually all do generally have different numbers, but they're all like kind of near each other usually. But they turned off streamer lock. Those son of a no. I don't have to talk to these guys. AZ says more better than 1 in 25,000. Yeah, that's not good odds. Not good odds. Yeah, you can. Someone said they usually only farm Andy and Meph. You can get the Diablo statue from Mephisto. It's about, I forget what it was, so don't quote me on this. One of those situations. It was something like 1 out of 20 statues that drops from Mephisto. Like 19 will be the one that Mephisto always drops. But then there's like one of them will be, it'll either be the one from the act boss that you usually get before or after Mephisto. So the Duriel or the Diablo one. That number's not the accurate number. I'd have to look it up and find it again, but it's something like that. But yeah. Art, thank you for the fake birthday wish. It is not my birthday, everybody, but thank you for jokingly saying it's my birthday again. Sack, yeah, not my birthday, but thank you. When it is my birthdays, no one's gonna believe that it's my birthday for real now. Thank you, by the way. Sold out. Good morning. Good morning to you as well. Unfortunately, if a boss drops a statue, it replaces the normal drop. Well, under most circumstances, that shouldn't be a problem, because statues should be sort of rare enough that you shouldn't be mad that they drop. If they add an item into the game and you're like super pissed that it drops, then they probably have something set wrong, in my opinion. Kind of like the shards and I guess the statues from Terrorize, Andariel, and Mephisto. You're like, no, another statue from Andy, no. Andy just dropped a statue and 2 shards and 2 essences. And I'm just trying to find something from Andy. No. Yeah. What's up with the fake birthday wishes? I don't know. What's up with everybody loving well done steaks? I don't know. It's just how it is. I don't know. Everybody in chat just always does it and they won't stop. I don't know. I can't control these people. Five statues short from Andy. Yeah, I've been capped out on Andy statues for like a month now. For Mephisto, I probably have like 70 of them. Why not? Channel bit. This is true. It is a channel bit. Well done steaks, on the other hand, though, not a channel bit. Free to BO. There's no way I'm getting a statue once every 12 and a half runs. That is crazy that I didn't know the number was actually 1 in 12 to get a statue. That's bananas. I'd have more statues, but Printer Friday took over. I would have maybe a couple more at this rate. See, X-Raider Boy capped out on the Meph statues. Used like 1,000 Act 3 shards. Interesting. A lot of meth running. Fine. I'll waste time to grab this regular amethyst to eventually cube up to a perfect. I ain't scared. They stomped right on me. I ain't scared. Fine. My luck will improve. You're here. Thank you. Yeah, Kano one to Colossal Ancient stuff. Man, how ridiculous is that? How ridiculous. I feel like that's one that he's gonna like finish or do, and then it's just gonna be the record because no one else will ever do it. That's what I feel. Somebody will, but maybe. How do you get the Act 2 statue fastest? I actually have a video about strategies to farm the statues faster, which you can check out if you want to from a little bit ago. Look it up. Farm statues faster, Sweetfield or something. So for Duriel, if you're on a single player, you know exactly which one it is all the time, right? You just go straight to. Oh, did I reset my map? Oh no, that was on the sorceress. So this will be a good instance. I'll just go ahead and show you, I guess. For online, what you're gonna do is go to Arcane Sanctuary, and then what you're gonna do is find. It does, instead of farming every, if you don't want to hit every tomb, that is, I'm talking. Unfortunately, no, didn't go the correct way here. So you could go back to town, or you can go like this. You do need to find where the summoner is. And if you look right here, there's 6 emblems. But the thing is, there's 7 different tombs. So whichever one's not here, that's going to be the one that Duriel's in. So right here, there is the circle with the half moon under it. Is the one that's missing. Obviously, I wouldn't be standing here looking so long, so it'd go faster, but... you could also, like what I'm doing here, farm keys on the way, of course, just for extra value. Take out the summoner real quick, get a key, maybe lucky. Circle with the thing underneath it. Then you come over here, and you go to that tomb. And that's where Duriel's going to be. Now, is it speed demon speed? No, but that's kind of the way you got to do it, I think. Single player, you just know where he is, so you just go to the tomb he is, so yeah. Crescent under him. Circle with a smiley face under it. That's what I like to say. I have no more mana. I don't usually teleport around this long without taking any monsters out, so. Yeah. Just clear every tomb every time. Is the chance for a statue the same from every boss? Let me look it up. I actually don't know. So here is... This is the Bokathos one. Oh, what is it called? What's the Andaro one called? I'm in the game right now. I'm running to look it real quick. The Andaro one is called Anguish. I have a feeling that the Andy one is more common, but we'll look it up. Oh, it's right here. I mean, how do you spell Anguish? Am I dumb? Is it A-U-G? Don't answer that. A-N-G-U. A-N-G-U. Isn't that what I typed? A-N-G-U. Oh, it's from Diablo. He can't drop it. No. So Andariel statues are 3 times more common than the ones from Diablo. Because it was 1 in 12 and like almost 1 in 13 for that. So not quite, but almost 3 times more common for the Andy statues than the Diablo ones. So Torque, thank you so much for the 3 months of Twitch Prime sub. Oop, messed it up. Messed everything up. Where am I at? Euler says you feel like you should just TZ tombs, and then when you come across Duriel, take him out. For a vast majority of people, yes, probably. If you're online, I would say your vastly more meta idea is to trade for the Duriel statues and stuff. It's going to be so much easier to find, like, who knows how much they're going to end up costing, but like a Lemrune and trading the Lemrune for a Duriel statue than you are to farm the Duriel statues, you know, like, or a couple of keys if you come across keys while you're farming for runes from the Countess or something, or like, you know, whatever it is, you know, a Shaco that you found from Andy, or an Oculus, or, you know, it's going to be so much easier to trade that stuff online. Now, if you're on offline single player, you just kind of, you might just have to make it happen, but you farming keys anyways, pick out Duriel too. That is kind of a good point. Yeah, like, because if you're farming keys, you're going to get to the summoner and you're going to see which tomb Duriel's in. Then you can go right to him, kind of, sort of. Depending on your character, of course, and everything, so. It's a choice everyone's got to make, I guess. What you think is worth it. Yeah. The answer to everything online is trade, bro. Maybe. Kind of, sort of, maybe. But at some point, you got to find something to trade it, though, right? So. But yeah, whatever your build's best at, farm that stuff and trade it. But if you're solo self-found, like, obviously, the answer to solo self-found is sorry, bro. Yeah. Also, kind of. This is not 1 out of 12. Those drop odds I do not believe on max roll. Or I'm super unlucky. Moldy likes finding stuff too much. I get you. This is true. But I feel like there's not a dopamine hit of, like, going to work to be compensated with statues, you know. But that's why I'm kind of like multi-purposing it. It is kind of another thing I generally recommend. I always try to, like someone mentioned earlier, I am specifically farming statues, but I can't help myself but stop and do something where I might get lucky and get some enjoyment. Because I'm not really getting any enjoyment out of getting statues. It's like, finally, jeez, I finally got a freaking statue. It's more like misery of not getting it rather than excitement of finding one. Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, there's a little bit different situation here, since I'm trying to press to get statues before apparently these drop odds are going to be decreased on Diablo statues. They're going to be dropped even further. So I'm trying to, like, hurry up and, you know, if the drop odds are cut in half or cut down by a factor of 3 later, I want to get these drop odds that they are now, you know, so. An item with a lot of stats, poof. Some people have asked me about some of that stuff. I feel like the only time I've thought about that or noticed it is that I went back to some of my characters from my first Holy Grail to, like, hey, look at these items on this character, or look at that. And, like, when I looked at the just picture this being like the shared stash, I thought the entire character was completely full, like a mule, and there was like an open section like this over on the side, and I was like, I thought this was full with items, but for some reason this whole bottom corner of the shared stash is empty. Maybe I just remember wrong, so I can't say for sure. Easy peasy. I'm not sure if that comment was pointed to me or somebody else. I play ladder and offline single player. I play both. I play ladder for the first for like a month at the start of ladder, and then I go to single player usually. So, if that comment was directed towards me, if not, disregard what I said. Yeah, forget these guys. Get to the statue faster. Gotta hurry up and get this 1 out of 12 Diablo kill statue drops. Supposedly. Allegedly. How many statues do you have? Not many. I have like 15 Diablo statues or something. I've been farming Diablo for like 7 hours of streaming. And I've gotten like 6 statues. And supposedly it's 1 out of 12 Diablo kills, you know. Supposedly, according to the dropouts calculator. And they're going to lower the odds significantly for next season. Thor, yeah, I just a second ago I went over how to tell which tomb Diablo's in. It does take some time though, either way, but I know on Twitch you can't go back, but on YouTube you can go back, or I have a video about it. We're on P3 at the moment, but players count doesn't affect it very much, to be honest. It goes from like 1 out of actually, I didn't even look at it on Diablo for the players count change. But it probably goes from like 1 in 13 runs to like 1 in 12 and a half from P1 to P3, and then from P3 to P5 and up to P7 it doesn't change like at all. Can't trade with single player characters. I mean, you can transfer gear over. I'm not sure what you're at. Like, of course you can't like trade, but like with people that are like on a different computer somewhere else. That doesn't help me. I need a 3-second phase blade to make a crescent moon for my bro over here. I mean, I guess you could simulate trades. I've heard of people doing that, where they'll use Hero Editor and they'll look up what the trade value for something is, and then they'll just like Hero Edit in the item they want to trade for, and then throw like the rune on the ground, like simulate as if they were trading. If you want to do that. Did not mean to do that portal. Could you get Enigma and all the best stock gear in the first month of ladder? Sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I only play a week, sometimes I play 2 weeks, sometimes I play more than a month. Usually the way like so like yeah, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. If you're like a Hammerden, you usually can, but yeah. If I start the season as like, I don't know, Fury Druid, probably not. Bloodletter, did they add the walk run yet? What a goated item. Wait, 3 whirlwind. That rolls 2 to 4, right? Don't remember. I had one of those on the first ever barbarian I ever made. And I thought it was so cool because I was a whirlwind barb and it had whirlwind skills on it. Yeah, fine. Get lucky. Something exciting. Come on. Nothing exciting. Perfect bloodletter on the skills roll. What was it? Perfect? 3 just looked like an odd number for the skills to go to, but yeah, I'm not a bloodletter expert, so. That didn't spell right at all. Oh, it does go to 3. Okay. So yeah, that was actually a... Oh no, I lost a button.
Perfect.
Bloodletter. Because the skills are the only thing that roll differently. Griffin stream incoming. I wouldn't mind finding the Griffins. But Diablo can't even drop it, so... That blew my mind. That was one thing it pains me to admit this, but that was one thing I was wrong on. I thought for sure Diablo could drop Griffin's Eye. I could not believe that he can't. You can find Griffin's Eye from champion cows in the cow level, but Diablo can't drop it. Like, crazy. I'm pretty sure like random, like I've actually found one before too. Random carver, like a random just white named carver in the pits can drop Griffin's Eye. Uh-oh. Sorry, I just sneezed. A random white carver in the pits can drop Griffin's Eye. Diablo, the name of the game, cannot. It's crazy. Yep. Yeah, Diablo cannot drop Griffin's Eye. It's crazy. I was insistent that I thought I was right, and I was indeed not right. You always forget when you look like an idiot and you were wrong. Of course, when he's terror, don't be the people. Of course, like, actually, we feel when Diablo terrorized, you can drop it. No, don't be those people. You know what I mean. You can find it in chaos though. Like Lord DeSace cannot drop Griffin's Eye, but like the other monsters around can. Like I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's an 85 area outside of the treasure class of the seal bosses and stuff. So I think even it's super rare, but even these regular white monsters I think can drop a Griffin's. It's probably like 1 in like 150 million. Like kills of a white monster, but I'm pretty sure they can too. But definitely the elites and champs can, you know, but not the seal bosses and not Diablo. It's just weird the way that they did the treasure classes on the monsters, you know. Weird. OP carver farming strategy. I wouldn't say that. It once again is probably from those carvers. It's probably like 1 in 250 million chance of one of the carvers from the pits dropping it. But that's actually how I fully decked out my Fist of Heaven's Paladin one season. On the first day, like not the night the ladder reset, but the very next day, I went into the pits and I took out a carver and dropped the Griffin's Eye. And I instantly traded it. And then, yeah, that's how I fully decked out my Hammerdine. Another Demon Arch. Okay. Grand Crown. Is it Undead? Undead Crown? Crown of Thieves, you idiot. I should have known that. I should have known that. Infector Griffins. Okay. Terrorized Infector Griffins. Gotcha. Raider Boy says the best monster to farm for Griffins is Pindle. It might be kind of true, but man, I feel like... I don't know. You can get all kinds of other good stuff too along with that, so... I'm a bigger fan of just hitting 85 areas, or if you like terror zones, your favorite terror zones to get it, personally. Because yeah, I have even occasionally gotten high runes from Pindle and stuff. I don't know. Dealer's choice on it. Dealer's choice. I guess I just personally wouldn't recommend it, but it's just like that's just opinion on what people like to do or not. Fishaholic says, Griffins from a carver, the same odds of me finding a hot girlfriend. This guy. Your odds are way higher than that. Let's go. Wait, how do you... No, not bosses. Let's go normal. I'm looking up one of the drop odds things. I'm just got interested real quick. Oh, I guess they're not called carvers down there. They're called devilkins. I forgot. So we got devilkin in the pits. Griffin's Eye. Oh, it's only 1 in 3 million. With 0 magic find, though. I probably had like 100 when I found it, so. And it was players 1, which is going to drop this drastically, I think, actually. Because I was in a game by myself with like 100 magic find. And so it was like a 1 in 3 million chance of dropping. But yeah, a regular white devilkin in the pits can drop it. Drop Griffin's Eye. But Diablo. I thought Diablo could not drop it. This is not accurate, is it? Did I check something wrong here? I'm pretty sure this is not accurate. Who can confirm this? This makes me not want to trust this drop odds calculator. Because I'm almost positive that Diablo... Oh, Griffin's headdress. Guys, I'm always right. Stop. Okay? We'll move on from that. I want to stress that I knew that the whole time and I was joking, okay? So yeah, see, no, I do trust it again. It's right. Man, got you guys good on that one. Got you guys good. Yeah, almost had you. Almost had y'all. I did that on like the first time when I looked at there too. It just, I don't know. I just looked for the word Griffin and I don't know. Anyways, we'll move on. Because that just makes me look like a fool. So. That's weird though, isn't it? I feel like Diablo, like G-Stacks mentioned earlier. Diablo should be able to drop all of the uniques in the game at least. Like, I just feel that way. Could you imagine the reply email when you tell them there's a bug? No, 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 no. I wouldn't send the email. Yeah, with a screenshot of that. Now, there actually was a bug that I found with their drop odds calculator one time. And they were pretty much like, yeah, we'll get to it. We got a lot going on. We'll get to it when we get to it. I forget what it was, though, but what exact item it was. But there was a certain item. Maybe it was like, it was one of the new Sunder Charms or something. To where if you looked up the Sunder Charm drop rates based upon if you searched it by the item search rather than searching it by the monster, and then looking it up under the monster list and then the Sunder Charm, it was coming up with different odds between the two. But for the same drop from the same monster with everything set the same. They probably got to it by now. This is a little bit back, but... what's up, kiddo? A cheese stick. Oh, I moved it closer when I did my Printer Friday thing. What are you looking for? Oh, there's that piece of paper. I lost it. Did you finish that whole bag of chips or something? Okay, good. Yeah, you can have a cheese stick. I'm making dinner in like 2 hours, so. I was not talking to y'all. Okay, fine. I like when Effector spawns down there further. It seems like he has more minions when they spawns further away. Burgers at Phil's house. No, no, no. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I got a pack of chicken in the fridge. We'll do chicken and... I don't know. Chicken and rice. I already made a bunch of rice for lunch. Threw on the rice cooker and came back 45 minutes later and... Dude, I made a sketch lunch. I'll be perfectly honest. Wait till you guys hear this. It'll be good for the content. It'll be good for the content. So I did rice and, like, I do this a lot where I'll take white rice and mixed vegetables and then I'll mix in, like, whatever meat with it and just make that like a meal, whether I have leftover taco meat or chicken, you know, chicken and rice and mixed vegetables. I bought some turkey tacos, threw them in the oven. So I had, like, chopped up turkey taco, mix in rice and mixed vegetables. It was legit. I'm gonna be honest, wasn't that great. I'm not kidding either. It was not very great. But Montel Williams, what's going on? Celebrity in the chat. First Burroon ever last week. Nice. Random bird and lower Kurast. Congratulations on that. High runes like that, legendary. A well done microwave steak. That would have been much better than what I had for lunch. I want to be honest. I've never had a fully microwave steak before. I should try it sometime. Maybe it's good and we just don't know. I mean, has anybody in here, honestly, like, raise your hand right now. Raise your hand up if you have ever microwaved a steak and ate it. Like, fully, like, you microwaved it from beginning until the amount that it was cooked in, then you ate it. Because what I have done, and you guys are gonna be mad at me, I already know it. I have done this before. I've cooked a steak on the grill and thought it was completely done, came back inside, and it was like February 3rd. So it's like 4 degrees outside with 2 feet of snow, but I grilled the steak anyways. Came back inside and was like, son of a bleep. It's like medium rare, and I don't really like medium rare. Okay, fine. And I just microwaved it to, like, get it more done. I've done that. I have done that before. You have some cheapo steak that you just don't even care. You're hungry. You don't have time to fire and heat up the grill again in the middle of winter because it takes like 20 minutes to get up to temp again. Like, it's like, I need to get my daughter to dance practice. Like, I have done that before. Ooh! Wish that was ethereal. Boy, I wish that was ethereal. There's not a wait. If this was ethereal, there would not be a single wasted roll on there. Dang it. But yeah, 40 increased attack speed, 338, which could be higher, but still a good amount. Max damage attack rating, unfortunately repair durability, and it's not rare. It's a neat rare. Not perfect, not perfect, but yeah. Did you ruin the steak by making it well done? I don't remember how much. Or let's say this. If you cook like a couple of steaks or like sometimes I'll buy steaks. These cheap steaks come in like 3-packs, and I'll eat one and my wife eats one, and I'll throw another one in the fridge, and I'll pull it out the next day. You know, it was cooked to like a medium, I'm not gonna eat it like raw, like just like cold steak. I don't know. You could, I guess, but then I'll, you know, so I'll like slice it and then warm it up in the microwave, of course, and then it's pretty much like well done, I guess, like sliced up. Put it with some eggs or something. Come on. Sometimes you got to improvise. Yeah, see, exactly. See, I like what you're getting at there. It's not first choice, but yeah. A lady microwaved a pork chop on TikTok. Well, you know, there you go. I wonder what it would be like. I've never attempted to just like straight up microwave a steak. I guess that Topaz is staying there because I got no room. Your wife doesn't eat any meat if it's any red at all? Interesting. I'm not that drastic. Yeah, my wife will do a medium rare. I'm more of a medium, personally. Please stop. What the bleep? I mean, come on. You guys have never. You guys are being ridiculous here. You guys are being ridiculous. But wait a second. You're telling me people are being over dramatic on the internet? No way. Oh, here's one. It was not super long ago, but it was probably like 6 months ago I did this. So I had some like cheapo, and I always buy cheapo steaks because I'm cheapo, you know. I bought these steaks, right? And this one of them that I ate, it was a bigger one. It was a lot thinner on one side, and then it got thicker on the other side. So when I cooked it, and I was like, oh, I started eating it. This is cooked fine. I got halfway through the steak, and the fatter end was like rare. And I was like, gosh dang it. It had been like I already let the steak rest for like 10 minutes. Then I was like 5 minutes into eating it, so the grill is ice cold, you know. So I did microwave, just microwave it and cook it to where I could eat it, you know. So, all right, here we go. We all know this. Perfect. Mara's. Boo. Oh, but we'll. Unfortunate. A glass of new wine? What's new wine? Just like unaged wine, like a box of wine you're talking about or something? Ooh, Memnock says his microwave is also an air fryer at the same time. What a legit combo, huh? Nice. Perfect Mahim Oak Curio. Nice. Top 3 best movies you have ever seen. Oh, 3 movies. That's tough. Anchorman, Team America World Police, and we'll go Super Troopers, I guess. I don't know. Tough to pick 3 though. New wine equals not wine. Grape juice with alcohol in it. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I don't drink wine like at all, so. Fifth Element, best movie of all time? It's okay, I guess, but Step Brothers? Kinda. I like Step Brothers, but I wasn't into it like other people were. Or like The Hangover. It was a good movie. I was into it, but. I had to go with movies that I put, like, I've definitely watched more than once in the same day before. Like, I can't put it, if I had to pick the top 3, I just have to go off of that. Like, Anchorman, I have absolutely watched more than one time in the same day before. Team America World Police, when I first got that movie, I literally bought it, and then I came, the next morning I watched it. I literally watched it 3 times that day when I first got it. Because some people had told me like, "Oh, this movie's crazy. You like these crazy like comedies that are ridiculous. Like you'll like this movie, you'll love it." But I'm like, "Okay, guys, yeah, I'll get it. Dude, calm down, guys. I'll get it." And then I got it, and then I watched it 3 times the first day after I got Team America World Police. It's so ridiculous. That's why I don't know that necessarily Super Troopers. I'm not sure if I watched that one more than like 2 or more times in the same day. But I've definitely watched it a lot, and it's pretty cool. I don't know. Picking one's hard. You have to do like 5 or 10. Rocky Waste Stony Tubes. Because like, I don't know, let's see, like the movie Waiting I seen more than one time in the theaters. But how come no tattoos? Why would I mean, why would you mess with perfection, right? Like, how many Lamborghinis do you see driving around with bumper stickers on them, right? Like, come on. How many, like, 1960 whatever Chevelles do you see driving around with, like, you know, decals on them and bump, you know, come on, you know? Law-abiding citizen, good movie, but yeah. Marty says they need to be separated by genre would be the way to name best movies. Like name like the best movies of each genre kind of type of situation instead of just like overall. Yeah, if you go overall, of course, it's just like, well, which type of movie do I like the most? And that's comedies really, but oh no! Oh, the line from Idiocracy. I thought you were like asking why I don't have any tattoos. Oh yeah, yeah. When Idiocracy is a pretty funny movie too. Yeah, starts freaking out. Let's see. Someone said Lord of the Rings and Dark Knight and stuff. Yeah, it's all good stuff. All good stuff. Not my. You know, those type of movies aren't just. They're not my favorite type to just like, you know, fire up. They're ones that I like to watch like once and then maybe a couple years later watch again. You know what I mean? Not like. Antox said your brother showed you Team America World Police when you were 10. He should not have done that. He should not have done that. Freedom isn't free. It costs folks like you and me. Freedom costs a bucko crime. Starship Troopers is a great movie, yeah. As for like a non-comedy, that is a great movie. Borat's one I watched more than one time in the same day too, but Borat, I haven't seen Borat in a while. Maybe I need to rewatch Borat. I haven't seen it in a while. I feel like the last time or two I watched it, I didn't exactly have the same. I don't know. Hard to say. Warship Down, never have. Nope. You said it's brutal. Is it? It must be like a war movie. I'm not a big war movie guy, and I don't really like war movies all that much. I don't really like horror movies that much. Anything war related. I mean, I've watched a documentary like no other business, but not a big fan of the movies, you know. Yeah, Philo broke out of his cage, and he did get this. Oh, the Rabbits movie. Oh, you're right. Yeah, Warship Down. Okay, now it's coming back to me. Now it's coming back to me. I'd assume by the name it was a war movie when it's called Warship Down. But now that you mention it, yeah, it's based on a book or something. I do remember seeing that, but or not seeing it, but the name or whatever. Now that you mention it. Oopsie. Forget it. Not banned in chat, Lady Fira. No, no, no. Not banned. What players number? This is just players 3. This is players 3. Eh. We'll probably just use it for crafting, actually. It is the max on the lighting, but I'll never use it for anything. Time for work. Peace out, Zach. Have a good day. Yeah, the other Sacha Baron Cohen movies or whatever, I think he had a show, right? Never really got into those, actually. I don't know. Didn't see the reference, or I forgot what it was there, lady. The last one I see from you is Sin City. You like Sin City, so. Watch Obsession. Game Over. I don't know that one. No, don't know that one. Kind of okay density, but they're also kind of sort of spread out. I don't know. How is this possible? Like, there's no way. Oh man, I keep forgetting to go to town. Oh, let's do it. There's no way that drop odds is accurate. That 1 in 12 Diablo kills, it should be a statue. There's no way that's accurate. There's no way over the course of this much time that I'm getting this unlucky. Yeah, forget it. First torching a couple nights ago. Congrats on that, Adam. At least it's a good one. It's Assassin. I don't know if you're playing Assassin, but at least it rolled good. I feel like there was a topaz in that exact spot last run that I also did not pick up. I'm almost positive, actually. We glitched the system. We got the same exact monster dropping the same exact item 2 runs in a row. That'd be crazy. This exact topaz was like right here last run. Kind of funny. I wonder if let's check a different drop odds calculator. I don't know if I'm just dumb, but I've never been able to get Silaspen's drop odds calculator to look up the other stuff. Is it this one? Let's see how this one works. I've never seen this one before. Difficulty, numbers of people that don't matter, actions. What does this mean? Monster ID. Diablo. Item type. Wait, what? Oh, this is like, I don't know what this one's saying. Let me look up a different one. What's this one? No, that's not the right one either. Come on, Google, help me out, bro. I don't want the video, I just want the dropouts calc. Alright, I'm gonna go like this. And then I'm gonna go... Oh, was that the one? Oh no, there we go. Maybe. Maybe. This is another one I've seen and used once or twice. Ever dunk a basketball? Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I played basketball until I was like 30, so yeah. I right now though, I just barely can't dunk because I got too old and fat. But yeah. I don't use it often though. I'm gonna have to give me a real quick second here. Item. Oh wait, what am I looking up again? Hopefully they got it on here. I've never used this one to look up. Oh yeah, Bolcathos is from Diablo. Okay. Bolcathos Nightmare? I should have looked up what it was called the rest of the way. Yeah, okay. I'm not smart. So, Bolcathos Nightmare. In Hell, of course. Wait. Get rid of these. I don't really care about that. Do it. So this says 1 in 14. So this says the exact same thing as... This says the exact same thing as... The one from Max Roll. Identical. They either already changed the drop odds on the statues or... I'm not sure. They're pulling from the number from the same place that's missing something. I'm not sure, because that's not... I would say that those are not accurate. But I can't prove it because... But I mean, the number of hours that I've been doing this now, I would say that that's just not possibly accurate. Gravity's getting stronger? It might be. Yeah, so I don't think... So right now I weigh 235. I don't think I've ever been able to dunk at the weight of 235. So... If I drop down to like, if I end up getting down to like 220, I probably could. I'm like right there, but I can't quite get it. Thought you were 23 years old? Get out of here. I'm gonna be 40 in a few months. Ask AI for accurate results. Well, AI will give whatever results those dropouts calculators give because that is what that is where it's going to get its information from. So. And that's where everyone else is going to get their information from. So yeah. Dunk jumping off a trampoline? Yeah. Totally. What's the Merc running? So he's actually got that Kingslayer and Azarath, which I just don't have the best options for swords pretty much. You usually want one or the other for the Sanctuary Aura, but they're like my only options right now, just oddly being my only options, but yeah. Moggenna, yeah, so I'm looking up the statue drop odds for Diablo dropping his statue, yeah. You're gonna be mad when you see him drop a statue from somebody else? Yes. So earlier today I dropped a Mephisto statue off him, whichever one that is called, and that was annoying, yep. Not IDing the Skulders? I didn't even see the Skulders, to be honest, but also, it's not like tragic. I don't know if I was reading chat too intently or what, but I didn't even see the Skulders drop. I seen a rusted armor that was white, but I didn't see a unique one, but maybe I'm thinking of a different one. But either way, usually I'd pick it up and be like, ooh, Scalders is cool, because it was like back in the day it was cool. Not that I would never use it now, but... Well, I use it super early on, like for magic finding if I, you know, don't need something else or haven't found something else yet, but... If I only have 15 minutes to play, what you running? Well, it's of course going to depend on the build, but, I don't know. I mean, it depends completely solely on what build I have, like what characters I have and stuff at the moment. It wouldn't really change much from what I do normally to, you know, because I don't like using shards and doing full game clears. I don't like that anyway, so I generally don't do that. And anything else in 15 minutes, you could do a few chaos runs or you can do some Andy runs and stuff. So I just do the same thing that I always do. Serene Nature said you dunked, but it's been years. Started powerlifting. Yeah, I did get heavier from lifting, and then I could still dunk though, but like not as good, of course. And then, yeah, I still lift from time to time, but I also, you know, get 40. I don't work out as much. Probably have a few beverages more often than I should, and you know how it is. You know how it is. Man. I think I've honestly only gotten I've gotten like one Diablo statue an hour. Oh. Guess I gotta take him out, don't I? I guess if I'm only doing 10, you know, a run every 8 minutes. Oh, dang, I did it again. I was thinking about how fast I'm gonna do it here, and then I just don't. Cure a lisp in the game? Yeah, I don't know. Did you try holding Alt and hitting F4? I heard that can help out a little bit, but... Munkles, welcome in. It is I, Phil, of the Sweet Clan. The heck? Rocking the 40-pound backpack. Gotcha. Yeah, we got a weighted vest at the house here I could use. I don't remember how much. I think it's only like 20 pounds maybe. I don't really use that though. But yeah, can be good for you. Yeah. Spider-Man not doing 8-minute runs. Yeah, I'm definitely doing faster than 8-minute runs. Yeah, I'm probably getting like maybe 1 in 30 or 1 in like a statue like 1 in like 40 runs right now. I wonder if they, I mean, there's no way they did that, but it almost makes me think they like, I made my video and they're like, oh, people are going to farm up statues real quick because of blah, blah, blah. We better just push that part of the patch out right now. I doubt it, of course, but. But yeah, for offline single player specifically, if they drop the odds of statues lower than what this is here, it's like obscene. For offline single player, but yeah. Online, I'm kind of fine with it just because it's like, you know, having things that are valuable is cool, but. But when you can't trade for stuff on single player, so you have to do this stuff, no other option, it's like, oh man. One in 12 for this item, myth busted. Yeah, that's how it seems. Not looking like the case. T-Foss, you think I'm doing one run for 5 minutes right now? I'm guessing I'm doing them significantly faster than that since I'm skipping like half the monsters, but maybe. Good old poleaxe. Some runs I'm doing more than others depending on the density. I guess you could time me. Maybe I am doing 5-minute runs. Kano's quit a few times after going 30 runs without getting a statue. Yeah, I mean that is one thing when you like go 30 runs without getting a statue. But statistically, odds would predict that if you don't get a statue for 30 runs, then at some point, you know, you find one statue, then within 10 runs you should probably find a second statue, you know what I mean? Or if you go 60 runs and you get 2 statues, you shouldn't go another 30 runs and get another statue if the odds are 1 in 12, right? Like at some point. But I've done hours and hours now of going after Diablo, and it's always, you know, 20 runs, 30 runs. So stop using the run counter. I could for this. Usually when I'm going to do different areas, like all the time, I don't use the run counter. But I wasn't planning on just doing Diablo at first, but then I just started doing Diablo at first, so yeah. Are they going to be nerfing the Baal and Diablo statue drop rates as well? So from what they said, they just said statue drop rates, so I would assume that means all of them. The crazy thing is too is that I just looked up the drop rates. Supposedly, I'm at the point where I don't really believe them actually, but the Andariel drop rates were like one every 4 runs or something. Baal is supposedly 1 out of 12, but I don't believe it because I have never gotten every statue I've gotten it's been more than 12 runs from the last statue. It's not like I got 2 statues like 4 runs apart, but then some other time I got unlucky and it was like 30 runs. It has always been more than the number of statistical probability of finding one over hours and hours and hours of play. So it just seems improbable, but maybe I'm just that unlucky. It is also possible to get that unlucky. So thought this was a season thing and not a patch thing. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Season thing, not a patch thing. I'm confused. But yes, the patches, they're dropping the patch like a week before the ladder resets. I'm assuming just to make sure that everything seems right. And then at least for like certain things, they can push like a server side change if something's like busted to like save the season. And then they will like come out with a patch for the next season correcting it for like offline single player and stuff. That's what they did with like you know how on single player the Chronicle says for every unique it always says eligible for Chronicle even if you have it already? They corrected that online with a server side change, a server side like patch or whatever. But this season they corrected it out in the normal patch they push out to the game, so it'll be fixed for offline single player. Spider-Man, I answered it with something I said there. Gotcha. Cool. Stream until I get 25 statues today. There's not enough time in the day, bro. There's only 10 more hours. And in the last, I've probably done close to 10 hours, honestly, here. I've only gotten like 5 statues. 5 Diablo statues. I did find, I thought I found a Bale statue. I guess I didn't. I've found a couple, like 2 Mephisto ones and like 5 Bale statues in, I'm probably finding like, well, maybe 1 an hour, to be honest. Maybe. I think it's been like, hey, let's just look it up. Let's look it up. Where is my boop, boop, boop? Let's add up the hours of the last streams. Now, with that being said, the one was a Printer Friday, so that's going to be a bit skewed. We'll trim off a full hour from the first stream. So it's been 3 hours now, 3 hours there. So 6, yeah, we'll call it like 7 to 8 hours. I've gotten 7 statues. Crazy. See if you can get some future update info out of Llama. No. No, 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 no. Ooh, Sacred Armor. But didn't mean to do that. No, I think that was like what happened. I think was an accident, and I don't think they're gonna put him in that situation again. They just kind of overlooked that they realized that he can't say anything, and people ask streamers all these questions all the time, and he can't just like, you know, he can't tell them what's happening because it's like NDA, but like, so he has, you know. I don't think that's gonna happen again. That was crazy though. Is a new season coming really worth doing? Whenever people ask that question, I never know what to say, Noah, because if they didn't change anything, I would be playing the season. You know, I started my Diablo 2 channel during Diablo 2 LOD when they hadn't changed anything in 10 years, 15 years. So, of course, the new season's worth playing, just like every other one. If you don't like Diablo 2, then you probably shouldn't play the game. But if you do like Diablo 2, then you should play it, and it is worth it. But yes, if you don't like Diablo 2 and you need the game to change to a different game in order to like playing it, then no, you shouldn't play Diablo 2 this next season. Did Llama slip up? You don't remember what happened with the last season, Euler? No, people would be like, you know what's going on, you know the changes, and he's like, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but you know, people would always say he knew what was happening, and you can't say you know what's happening because I'm assuming, but then during the announcement video, they're like, we worked with Llama and Kano and so-and-so to help us with these changes, blah, 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 after people have been asking him about the changes, and he can't say anything about it, you know, for like, whatever. You know, that's the short of it. And then everyone's like, you knew and you didn't say anything. You know, you acted like you didn't know anything when you did. And like, because he wasn't allowed to say anything because, you know, I'm assuming anyways, I was not part of it, but I assume it's like NDA, he wasn't allowed to say anything about helping them test the Reign of the Warlock stuff, you know? Yeah. Like I said, that's just my above, what do they call it? 4,000 foot view of what happened. They did him dirty by saying he was involved. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was getting at, that they aren't, I don't think they're going to have any other content creators like in on stuff and then say that they were in on the stuff, you know what I mean? I think that was just an accidental, like, you know, they wanted to thank him and shout him out for helping, you know, this and that. But the way everything worked out, I think it looked awkward. So I think it was just a misunderstanding, a mistake, you know, not that cool. Or not, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not a wordsmith over here, but. Favorite game of all time, says Noah. Talking about Diablo 2. Good. So in that case, I would say that the season is worth playing. But that's going to be for each person to decide themselves, so. if you're holding out on us, Phil, I'll lie straight to your face. They asked what would Phil do, and I told them everything to change. They're reverting all Reign of the Warlock back to LOD days. Let's go! Anti-change guy here. Miss the legacy graphics? Well, you could go back and play the legacy on the non-Reign of the Warlock. I don't miss the legacy graphics, but I think they kind of sort of had to change it because of doing the Warlock. And it was probably like never used or hardly ever used. Because I don't know this, but some people had said that they think that they took the sprite or whatever you call it from the Necromancer, and that's what they use for the Warlock, like the way the Warlock moves and stuff. So, which kind of makes sense now that I think about it. Also, with the fact being that the set item for the Warlock also goes in the offhand like a shield, just like the Necro Head does, but it's a book, you know, so it kind of makes sense that they went that route if that is actually how it is. I'm not a programmer or something, so I don't know these things. But it would make sense. So they would have had to get rid of the old graphics, because if you pulled up the Warlock, it would look like a Necromancer running around. Right? So, yeah. Shadow said the only like thing that somebody could look at as being, you know, negative is that Llama finished like first in the ladder when he had like, he could look at he knew the skills and stuff were coming before other people, so he technically had more time to like think about them. I mean, maybe a tiny bit. It is accurate, but definitely something I don't care about. Interesting. What time we got here? 4? Okay. Man, what a Terrazone lineup right now. They're all Garbo. For like a while. Well, I mean, Stony Tombs ain't bad. I guess a couple of these here aren't bad, but before they were all... I missed the Worldstone Keep, which could have gave me some Bale statues, apparently. But Bloodmore... Actually, Neelathak ain't bad. Or like if you spam Pendle, I guess. He can drop a few more items. Frozen Tundra, Kuris Bazaar. 2 more hours. Definitely not that. I gotta cook dinner. Is a race to the top of the ladder that big of a deal in 2026? It was only really, I guess, because like it's a new character, and he was the first person ever to get to 99 on the Warlock. So it was like a new character, so he was the first ever to do it, and it's all up to you what you guys want to think about it. I don't care. I never try to get to 99, so I don't really care, you know. Leveling in D2 is like, boy, if you think farming keys and farming statues seems like a job, oh my goodness. Leveling in Diablo 2 is the most unrewarding activity of all time. Blast for hours and like, oh, look, it just, the bar just ticked up 1. Yo, let's go. Let's go. The bar ticked up. Woo. I mean, I didn't level up, but it ticked up 1. So exciting. You know, like that doesn't do nothing for me. Takes forever when you get to end game. Yeah, it's super unexciting and unrewarding, but you know what? The good thing about Diablo 2 is there's all these different things you can do, and you don't have to do that one, I guess. So I just don't do it. It's embarrassing to be the top of ladder, in my opinion. I mean, it depends how you look at it. I do get what you're saying, but like people like just want the achievement. They do it one time, or maybe a couple times in his case. But also, like, it's different for content creators like us, because like it's, you know, like a job. So to do something that's like above and beyond what anyone else would do is just like kind of part of the job. So, but I kind of get what you're saying. Yeah, I could never do that because yeah. I mean, I could, but I just wouldn't want to take the time to do it. Yeah, any normal person with a full-time job, you couldn't really be the top of the ladder like that. Wait, that's at least a Baal statue. Still not a Diablo statue. That's Baal, right? That's got to be Baal. That's a Baal statue, right? That is not a Mephisto one, is it? I swear to goodness, if I've gotten... Good. At least it's a Baal. I'd rather get the Baal statue, honestly, than a Diablo one. Whew. People can take a week off of work to get the... Yeah, nowadays it does just take a week. So I guess technically you could use a week's vacation and get to 99 on ladder. You could do that, sure. Wish there was a cool skill at 99 or something. Yeah, something. Kind of like how you get like the footsteps or like the whatever from completing. Like if you got to 99 for the rest of that season, you would have something. Kind of like that. That's not a bad idea. Hey, pitch that to Blizzard. So that way when the 99 character is running around, you would like see it. Automatically have teleport on a 99 character. I don't know about anything that boosts it up, but I don't want to say Tyrael wings, but something like that, you know? That is a good idea. I don't know, that never popped in my head before. I don't know what it could be though, like the whole Tyrael wings thing just sounds kind of cheesy at this point because people always said it for so many different things, you know? But maybe I don't know, yeah. You double your character doubles the size. Nice. Yeah, and I don't know what they're capable of doing. Like, I know they're like smart programmers or whatever, but I mean, with the Diablo 2 code and like what you could do, like, I mean, you could just, probably the easiest would just like to make a new aura type that your character would have inherently, you know, like, I don't know like what it would look like necessarily, but I was gonna say like you could change the color of one eye, or you could change like the color and like you could make your Harlequin's crest like red or something. I don't know, just some. I don't know. That's kind of. Then I was like, that's actually kind of lame. But I don't know. Can't come up with any good ideas in my head. What do you guys think? Wasn't the Warlock available like 2 weeks before the ladder started? Yeah, a little bit before the ladder started, yeah. But what the people said about, you know, what they were saying is you could make an argument that because, like, the people that worked on the Warlock with Blizzard or whatever technically had more time than everybody else to, like, look at it. So you could say they had an advantage, but, you know, whatever. But, which I guess is a little bit. But, because I think, like, you know how there was, like, the first 1,000 people would get their name on, like, the Diablo statue at Blizzard Central or whatever? The people that worked with Blizzard to test the characters before D2R launched weren't allowed to be on that statue or whatever because they had been playing the game for, like, months. So kind of like that situation, I guess. But I don't really care. You know, these are things that I don't really care about. But I'm just explaining the argument for what other people have said, you know. So. Warlock O skills on items? Maybe. Bind demon on item. Probably because just 1 point in a bind demon, I don't know if that would really keep you alive, right? Without, but I was gonna say, you know, it would get used as an O skill if you had it on something. Probably, what's it called? That one sigil that you only put 1 point into and everybody uses. I'm just brain dead sometimes. I don't know why Rancor is in my head, but that's not the one. It's not the Death Sigil. It's the other one that I actually use. What's it called? Lethargy. Yes, exactly. Yeah, like if you could just get any number of, like, even if it's just 1 to Lethargy, people would probably use it. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe if it was on, it depends what it'd be on, because you wouldn't use it over, like, in several places, like a weapon or something, just because it had 1 to Lethargy. But Lethargy is just, I'm just saying Lethargy is one of those skills that just having, you know, if something had like 5 to Lethargy on it, O skill, you would like use it. Like that'd be something you could use. Because having 1 to Bind Demon would be like, it's like having 1 to Iron Golem. Like the Iron Golem doesn't work unless you have more points into other stuff to keep it alive. Oh, is Lethargy on Coven? I forgot that, I guess. Is it charges or is it? I might have just forgot about that. What's on oh, let me just Google it real quick, because I know you guys sometimes it's hard to type the stuff in there. And oh, 5% chance of Lethargy when struck. Interesting. Interesting. But yeah, if you could just drop, like right now, boom, drop Lethargy on Diablo. Aw, man, I thought I was gonna survive there. Poor guy. Does shards increase statue drop rates? So you're saying, like, if you terrorize it, you mean? So apparently, if you use a shard, it does give you, it's roughly twice the rate of a statue dropping, supposedly. But yeah, every run I would have to use another shard. I would be long gone of the shards that I had if I was using a shard every run, right? Like, they would be gone a long time ago already. Euler, yeah, the Kano and like people speedrunning is yeah, pretty crazy how good they get at doing some of that stuff. Pretty crazy. Really, a lot of it for me is the hardest part is like some of the map reading. Like obviously I know like the jail and I know the maggot layer, the tower, you know, but like map reading the above ground Act 3 and stuff is so impossible. For a second I was watching Kano the other day and he just, when I hopped in, he just happened to be explaining map reading part of Act 3 to understand when you were going through a particular area to know if it was a Great Marsh skip or not. And it was like this one weed in the middle of this grass patch, if it's like over and up slightly from right where it is right here, that means this is a false cut through for a false Great Marsh skip. But if it's right here, that's how you know it's a Great Marsh skip. And I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Like, how could you know this and remember all this stuff? Jeez. Can you show how many runes I got? I mean, I just have mostly all lower runes. I have a few Ists, a couple Gulls. Nothing crazy. Yes, a statue. The only high rune I have right now, I think, is 1 Sir rune at the moment. Two Vexes, apparently. Mosquitoes eating ya. You know what? To be honest, now that you mention it, I need my Merc back. And also, now that you mention it, hit the like button on YouTube. I have not had a lot of mosquitoes around this year, actually. Probably too hot, to be honest. They're all dying off because it's too hot for it. Sometimes I see all this density and I just gotta get after it. I almost was like gonna jokingly do it, but I noticed that I didn't have a Merc there and I instantly found a statue. There's some glitch between like the Act 5 Merc and finding statues. Yeah, they need to nerf the statue drops for sure for Diablo. They should bump them up. They're too low, to be honest. Oh, am I joking? I don't know. Am I? You live in Alaska, though? Michigan. Oh, you live in Alaska. I hear, I'm not an Alaskan expert, but I've heard that, yeah, in the summertime in Alaska, those mosquitoes are crazy because the type of mosquitoes you got there, they cram their entire life cycle into like 2 months. So, yeah. Like bugs in what do you even call it? Tundric? Like what do you even call that? Those type of climates, northern Russia and Alaska and stuff. Bugs are crazy in the summer. Like more bugs than exist in the Amazon rainforest. Yeah, I'm not an expert. Just found a 30. Ooh, found a 30 fire res 15 IS jewel. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever found one of those. I've found like 30 to lightning one time, I believe, but it wasn't fire, and I was like, come on. Peace out, serene nature. Have a good day. What's the point of getting to 99? Just like the challenge. I mean, on console, it's like, you know, get your gamer points on Xbox and stuff like that, or it's just like I got to 99 and you don't get anything for it. That's what we were talking earlier. They should give you something for getting to 99. Like your character should have some special aura or something, like, or I don't know. Lightning's worth more than fire? What's the lightning one used for there, Raider Boy? I found it on single player too, I'm pretty sure, so. Usually, for I only ever see him use the fire ones for the Endural's Visage for the Merc, but I guess just, let's see, increase attack speed, make up for the... Yeah, if it's worth more, that means it's something used for PvP, so that's why I know some of the PvP stuff that's valuable, but it's not my expertise. Yeah, PvP multiplayer, yeah, it's kind of what I figured. But yeah. I guess just in general, lightning's maybe used a lot in PvP, so, or something like that. Euler says, teleporting on control or anyone that got advice. I personally don't, but maybe someone else in chat can help you all out. Never used controller for D2 before. Okay. We get another statue. Gull rune. Man, I would have thought I did get an Ist and a Gull in here, but just all these monsters I took out, I was thinking I would get a high rune here or there, you know? One at least. Unfortunate. .11% of people have gotten a 99 softcore. Yeah, I'm gonna let him die off here, actually, I think. If he dies, anyways. 99 on softcore. Softcore Xbox. Gotcha. I lost my place there for a second. Numbers worse on Switch. Well, I believe if Switch is going to be harder because what you can only have 4 people in a game. So, want. The only 99s I've ever gotten were on single player here on Indie Tour. Because I just played single player for so long, and then every season I get a new character. So, you know, I'm probably never going to get to 99 in a season unless I go crazy one time and decide, you know what, I'm just going to do it. Battle Sword, is that Cloud Cracker? Oh, that is a Head Striker. It's not ethereal, but maybe I'll throw this on right now. And obviously I could socket it to make it better, but it's got the max damage, deadly strike. Could socket it with something. Maybe. Don't know how long it'd be before I find an ethereal head striker, so could be a long time. $99 super easy with shards. Yes, Terra Zones and shards makes it drastically easier than, which I'm fine with, I guess, because getting to 99 doesn't actually do anything for you. So it's just like, I'm kind of fine with making, like before it was a disaster getting to 99. Just having to just blast seal popping and then taking out Diablo because he's the only one that would give you experience, kind of. Like him and Bale and Neelathak or whatever. Or battle darts. But yeah. Next stream, maybe I'll do Bale runs to get Bale statues. A benefit to over 100% deadly strike? I don't think so. I'm gonna go some of these runs here with no dude. And if I start finding a bunch of statues, I might have to report that. Glitch between the Act 5 Merc and statue drops. The best part of 99 is being able to die without losing experience. You don't say, huh? Sounds like quite the benefit. It's accurate, though. It is accurate. Unless you're on hardcore Omega low. Hardcore? Who plays hardcore? See, people would leave the ancients till the last few levels. How does that work? So didn't it used to be, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, didn't it used to be where the ancients would give you one level no matter what, but then they changed it to like at a certain point it only gives you an amount of experience, so it can't give you the full level anymore? I'm not a 99er, so I don't remember fully, but I feel like it's something like that. I think that SP single player is funny. You're missing an Istrun for Exile. That's the one you can't get? That's funny. Usually it's the base. It's the one that you're always like last to find. No. Okay, good. Crazy. Oh, it's an XP. Okay, so somebody says here, and this sounds right. I don't know it for sure, but it sounds right. That you get a certain amount of XP, but it's capped at one full level. Okay, gotcha. That sounds right. Oz with an is Exile better. So Exile, the thing with Exile is what makes it good and why people like it is it's really high percentage of life tap. Sometimes I'll literally have like Dracul's Grasp on and I'll just be smiting away for like minutes, it seems. Not minutes, but like it seems honestly like 15 straight seconds with life tap not proccing. And if you don't have life tap, then you're in trouble, right? So another salad. Because Drax is 5% and Exile is, what, isn't it 33% chance of casting life tap? So beyond that, like, Exile's not even like super crazy. Yeah, I always just use Spirit or Ahaz, to be honest, because I'll just run out there. Like, I'll battle her up before I go, and I'll just use a life tap wand and cast life tap, and then start smiting with Drax on. And Drax might proc right away, and boom, I have life tap either way. Or if life tap doesn't proc really quickly, you've already cast it from your life tap wand. So that's usually what I do. And considering the cost difference between the two, you know, like, there are two options right there. Yeah. Lets you rock laying of hands. That is true. Yeah. I did overlook that. You're right. It gives you the laying of hands option. Gotcha. That is true. Definitely a cost difference there too. But yeah, I get you there. Oh, 15% life tap. You said not. It's not as high as I thought it was, but it's 3 times more than Drax. And then, like they said, you can use LOH on the gloves. No, statue, what's going on here? Unbelievable. Just looking real quick over here. Looking at the time here, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call her a day on this stream. 3.5 hours, solid amount of time for Phil here, anyways. But yeah, appreciate y'all joining me. Thank you, anybody, channel members. Thank y'all so much for supporting the channel. People who use their Twitch subs too. Y'all help. Thank you so much. Super chats. Appreciate y'all. But yeah, hopefully y'all have a wonderful Monday. Peace out, and keep slaying. Oh yeah.